We live. We wilding.
I was
are live,
prepared.
baby. What is going on, man?
Maybe it's just me.
Man. We are back, man. Full panel. Sorry for the tardiness. We apologize.
We're not late.
Nah, we right on time. I'm in Mexico mentally. We right on time.
Still. So
Viva Las Mexico.
But nevertheless, we are here live and in color, full panel Fridays. I'm hosting today.
No,
Chris.
it's not.
Who y'all?
We got the usual suspects: Dominique, Brittany, J Mel, and Zoe. We got a good show for you guys today. We got a great show. As you can see from the rundown, what the topics are. We're gonna cover free agency, talk about some new movement as far as the standings go in the East and West. We got a top 5 debate for you, but we're not gonna let y'all know about that just yet. And then the WNBA All-Stars have been announced. So we're gonna talk about all of that. But first, word from our sponsor.
Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just find your favorite player or any player for that matter, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Pick between 2 or 5 players to fill your pick'em entry. Get every pick right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use the promo code ManDownSports, and you can get your deposit doubled up to $100. You got to check on the map to make sure your state is eligible to play Underdog Fantasy. But as soon as you do, and if your state is, go ahead and download Underdog Fantasy's app. Use the promo code ManDownSports, and you can, like I said, you can get that $100 match on your first deposit. And I would want to thank Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring Man Down Sports. Hey, real quick, Chris, before we move on, let me give a shout out to all our members, man. We got a lot of people that support the channel, man, and we appreciate everyone who actually give to us monthly to make sure we can keep coming back to y'all every Friday and every Wednesday whenever I do my stuff. But Mikey Brass, he was our first
OG.
Yeah, he's the OG, but he's not really the OG because he rejoined last month. I guess he left for a couple of days and came back, But Mikey Brass is a Hall of Fame member. Ryan Walters is the other Hall of Fame member. And then everybody else is on the pro level. Chris Anderson, Beast Mode Bones, Jay Barrett, Taco Master, Max Latortu, Evine Brown, Doug M, The Real Mr. Cropper, WW, Shay J, R Bean, Jeffrey Gow, Liquid Sword, Shy Rider, West Side of 23, A. Harkins, Micah Tafoa, Wizman Ballin, Malachi Israel, and Savon Arnold, man. We appreciate y'all for being dedicated members, man. That helps us a whole lot, man. So thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Now, all right. We got E. E made it. You know what I'm saying?
My dog.
E made it just in time.
What's up, fellas?
What's good?
No speaker English.
Me neither. I didn't speak no English neither.
How was Mexico, guys? Did you have fun?
No, absolutely not.
I had an absolute time. I had an amazing time. I had to share the details with you fellas later.
Maybe in the post game.
All right. All right.
I had to share the details with you guys.
I
later.
wasn't.
We got everybody here.
Brittany?
What's going on, y'all?
We got everybody here, so let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Free agency has kicked off officially. I think it was Sunday. The doors opened up for free agency, and immediately a lot of signings and moves happened. Most notably, Paul George leaving LA, which we kind of all figured, but signing with Philadelphia for a very, very lucrative contract out there to form a new big three in Philly. What do you guys feel about that?
Not all at one time. I'm looking for the needle, and apparently it didn't move. It didn't move. That's
yeah.
What about the resident Philadelphia Pennsylvania resident? Rick, how you feel about that?
She definitely don't. Go ahead.
No, I like the move. I mean, what other moves were out there for them to do? You know, he was the big free agent option. That's who they said they wanted to go and get. That's who they got. I think he does fit well along in between Embiid and Maxey. You know, I mean, just look at his game. He has a complementary type game with those two guys. So it should be a seamless fit. Now, don't get me wrong, the team's not done. So the roster is very incomplete. I know the big thing is injuries, you know. Can they stay healthy? That's going to be the biggest factor. Do I think it puts them up there as far as one of the top teams in the East? As long as you have an Embiid, to me, you'll always be amongst the top teams in the East. But Paul George, when he's healthy, what can't he do? Right? So he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to be the main guy anymore. Or I mean, he hasn't been the main guy since Indiana, to be quite frank. So, but he doesn't have to play that role. He doesn't have all that pressure on him. He just come here, play his role, do what he needs to do. And this still Embiid's team. As long as he understands that, then everything will be fine. I don't see what the problem would be. I think he understood that when he was with the Clippers. I think he understood that when he was with OKC. He hasn't been the main guy since Indiana. So I don't mind a fit. But my thing is, what else you're going to do? You know, I like the Andre Drummond pickup. It provides something we were missing last year, especially when Embiid was off the floor, and that's rebounding. We had no rebounding. We was too small in the post. I like the Kelly Oubre re-sign. Eric Gordon, my goodness, this man won't retire. He's getting old, but he does provide some shooting, and he is not starting. If they start Eric Gordon, I'm gonna have a problem. And then I think the other key component is the head coach. They have a good head coach in Nick Nurse, I think, who will be able to figure this out. If we had Doc Rivers, I would be concerned, but we don't have him anymore. We got Nick Nurse now. But again, it all comes back to health. What are they going to do?
So that's the only issue. The only issue is that Embiid and his legs and his lower extremities and his leg injuries, and then Paul George. He get nicked up a lot. I don't. Man, it's tough, but if they're able to overcome that, I like it. We were just talking. I want to say a week ago. I think it was me and Dominique doing. Did we do a show right after the Celtics won? I don't know. I don't know why it ended up just being us two. But
I was sick.
Chris got a headache.
Yeah. The Scottie Pippen game, but he. No, but I play with the flu. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm MJ, but I'm just saying. But no, I was like, man, Embiid has never had a legit number two that he could run with. And Harden was not it. Maxey, as young as he is not it, right? But now having Paul George, I'm like, okay, now let's see what you can do. You got a guy who's like toward the end of his prime. He's not in the dead smack middle of his prime, but he still got some prime years left. And he's a shot maker at that, man. What can you do with that? And he plays defense, right? So, and I think this is best he go get, on top of the fact that he got Maxey, who's rising into an all-star. And on top of the fact that they picked up some more free agents. They're keeping Kelly Oubre, like you said, Brittany. They picked up Andre Drummond, who can be a backup for Embiid. He don't have to play so many minutes. And then when he goes down, they don't crash to the ground, because they was number one when he went down. And by the time he came back, they barely made the playoffs, man. So the shooting of Eric Gordon and all of that stuff being added to them, I think is good for sure. And then they lose Tobias Harris. He falls off.
Thank God.
Contract. Yeah, I think this is probably the best Embiid has had since he's been there. Maybe the Ben Simmons years was close. The Ben Simmons years was really good for Philly. I mean, let's be honest. The Ben Simmons years was good.
Before the incident, yeah.
Celtics in 4.
Oh my gosh. I think, and also, I mean, we're also playing along with hypotheticals, right? So, of course, health is wealth, right? They have to have a good season health wise, right? I don't expect it to be a plug and play situation. Paul George, he's been pretty good at kind of adapting to whatever situation he's in. Being the number one guy in Indy to going to being kind of a Robin to Russell Westbrook, being the ball dominant guy over there, going to be a Robin, and then sometimes being the Batman because Kawhi was almost unavailable most of the time, right? So he's been pretty good, but now with Maxey being probably your primary ball handler, and then Embiid being your primary post player, it kind of leaves Paul George in the middle of that. I think that's going to be like some new territory for him, turning into like kind of like a spot up shooter, catch and shoot. Paul George.
Why?
Like because Maxey will be the primary ball handler, and then like I said, Embiid will be your primary post player. So it's just like Paul George will kind of be there for like the kickouts.
No, I think it works perfectly. I think it works the way any scoring guard or scoring wing would work with a scoring post player that's a big. You know, it'll work like Shaq and Kobe. It'll work like Murray and Jokic. You know, so any combo. So of course, of course, it ain't gonna be just like Shaq and Kobe, but it'll be the same dynamic, man. And then when it comes to we need a bucket, it don't have to be Embiid. It can be Paul George, and that'll be the difference. Because how many bigs get the ball in the post when you need a bucket, because they go cut the fouls off. Mm-hmm. So you know that's probably not your best option in the post. Now you got a guy who can dance on you and pull up from three, mid range, and get to the hole or post up. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be dope. I don't see an issue. He's not gonna be a catch and shoot player. I don't think. Nick Nurse don't even coach like that. I mean, he had Kawhi. He had Kawhi, and who was his big man in Toronto when Kawhi won it?
Pascal.
Yeah.
Nick Nurse know what he's doing.
He know what he's doing, and I think that this is probably perfect for Embiid, because what we know, his low, like you said, man, his low extremities, being the guy all the time, I think took his toll during the process. Like when he's the guy, 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, that big of a dude, and you are constantly being asked to deliver everything offensively on most nights for the team, you get worn out. And with a guy with the injury history he has, he doesn't have to do that now. That's the goal. That was the goal, and that's why I think it's going to fit seamlessly. Like you said, health is the biggest factor in all of this, and I think it ain't no secret. But at the end of the day, I like the roster. Do I like them more than I like the Boston Celtics?
Nope.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Yeah.
I'm gonna steal something from Dominique real quick. Y'all act like Embiid doesn't play down in the playoffs. Y'all act like he doesn't disappear. Y'all keep saying health is the biggest factor. The biggest factor is Embiid ever going to show up in the playoffs?
He showed up. He showed up this playoffs.
He showed up hurt.
Yeah, but he was averaging 35 against the Knicks.
Yeah.
Dominique, you muted.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but I agree with Brittany that the roster isn't finished.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But Embiid and Paul George, it's not going to work because they're both losers. Sorry, Brittany. I would love to see, and I think what we're going to see is we're going to see them perform very well all year. We're going to think that Philly's the team to beat. That's what's going to happen. That's going to be the story. They're the team to beat. We're going to want for them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals with Boston, and then I think Embiid's going to disappoint us again in the second round. Watch them not make it to the Eastern Conference Finals because of Embiid. It won't be Paul George and his little picayune like injuries. It's going to be Embiid. Something's going to happen. His knees are going to be bad, or he's just going to flat out turn the ball over and play like poop in the fourth quarter every game, like he typically does. I don't think that they're going.
Cap, Dominique.
It's not cap. He plays like poop in the fourth quarter.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this Knicks game log when they played the Knicks. And I'm looking at 29 points from Embiid. I'm looking at 34. I'm looking at 50. I'm looking at 27. He did have one game with 19. And I'm looking at 39. I'm looking at 39. I don't care if
his stat sheet said 100. We watched.
Of course, you wouldn't, because you want to go with that narrative. I think that narrative is a little bit.
It's not a narrative.
I think that 19 game he got hurt.
Listen.
Everything is Embiid is hurt. He's hurt. But when you're on the floor, you're not hurt. It's not true if you're on the floor. If you're playing, then you're there to play, and the expectation is that you're there to win. That's
right.
That's my standard.
And I'm looking at a 50 burger. I'm looking at a 50 burger. I'm looking at 34, 29, 39, 27. Embiid's fine.
You're
he just got to stay
about
healthy.
The Knicks, that was a first round knockout. I'm talking about the multiple years that they could have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, because this year they weren't.
Talk about what's recent though. Talk
why?
About you
why
can't say he don't show up in the playoffs when he just showed you he showed up. He just showed up.
The last game, what did he score? What did he do in the last game?
39.
What did he do in the fourth quarter?
I mean, you want to go into the fourth quarter?
That's what I'm talking about.
We'll go into the fourth quarter. We're going to the fourth quarter.
It's the turnovers. It's timely. Basketball is about moments, and it's the moments where you're supposed to show up that he doesn't. And that's what Jay just mentioned. And I don't know if you were trolling, Jay, but Embiid doesn't show up when it's time.
That was an alley for you.
It's late game. It's late game free throws that he doesn't make.
No, I disagree on that one.
You talking about some old stuff.
I disagree.
Show up in late game situations, and you want to refer to the first round. Are you looking for a first round knockout, Brittany? Is that what you're looking for from Philly?
No, we just
talking to me. No,
we're talking about moving the
needle.
We're
looking for what you're describing is not there.
But we're talking about moving the needle, so we want to get out of it.
Have there been moments where
Embiid
has not showed up? Have there been moments when Embiid has not showed up? Of course, right? Yeah. But there's also, to me, in order to get to a certain point in any game, you have to have the team, right? I don't want to hear they had James Harden last year. James Harden is boo-boo. Let's be real. James Harden holds onto the ball till about 20 seconds, and then he'll pass it off with 4 seconds left to go. There's not much you could do with that. There's no ball movement with James Harden. I don't want to hear that he had Ben Simmons so many years ago. We all know what happened with Ben Simmons. Look at Ben Simmons now. So I don't want to talk about Ben Simmons. Yes, Joel Embiid can absolutely get better, but you have to have the proper team surrounding him. Playing 4-on-5 is not good. Going into the playoffs where you could collapse on Joel Embiid. Now and we've all seen it. We all watched the games, right? He's getting double, he's getting triple team. Of course, it's going to contribute to certain turnovers, not playing well. Does this completely does that mean Joel doesn't need to be accountable? Absolutely, he needs to be accountable. Absolutely, he has to get better. But there's more factors to why Joel Embiid is not having the success that other teams are having, and that's part of the organization. That's on the organization's fault for not putting a proper team surrounding him. Now, PG and Maxey, this is a start, right? This is a start. The roster is not finished. I'm not expecting them to get past this first or second round with this incomplete roster. They got to do much more than what's going on right now. But to completely put it all on Embiid, I can't do that at the same time. But is he somewhat responsible? Absolutely, yes. He is.
Yeah, and I don't think he's the only responsible piece here. I'm just saying that you have two players that melt down in the playoffs that are now coming together to be teammates. That's Paul George, and that's also Embiid. That's what I've seen is them melting down in the playoffs, and it's a pattern. And so I'm not looking for Embiid to get out of the first round. He doesn't have an issue in the first round. His issue is the second round and getting out of that. So this year he didn't even make it. That's why I'm not referencing this year because he didn't get to the second round. He lost to a Knicks team that didn't have their starters. So you want me to? That's not even
Dominic. That's not even true. That's not even true. Had a starters.
I disagree with that one too. Knicks had their starters.
They lost their starters.
Knicks had their starters. Knicks had Julius Randle.
Julius Randle doesn't count as a starter.
Julius Randle doesn't count as a starter
because he hasn't played half the year.
He wasn't playing. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
You can no longer call him.
Okay. Y'all having this long, drawn out ass argument.
That's fine. Sixers came out and said that they were the better team. How about that? 76ers, we're the better team. We're gonna win this series. That's what happened. That's
this whole long, drawn out argument. And you know what? Both of them gonna be hurt in the first round of the playoffs.
There you go, Eric. Thank you. They're both gonna be hurt, so there's gonna be injuries. I don't think this moves the needle.
It's the team to beat, and then next thing you know, both of them hurt. PG hurt. Embiid foot doesn't went off.
I just don't like false narratives, man. I really don't, especially when the false narratives are let's take this player and blame, and there's no evidence. There's no evidence. There's no recent evidence for what you're saying.
Evidence.
Like you can't ignore a player averaging 35 in the series and then say it's all on you. You melt down in the play. Where's the meltdown if I average 35?
When it happens to LeBron, we can ignore it all the time.
No. I'm talking about me averaging 35. Me averaging 35, and you saying I melted down because a meltdown. Anybody on the panel, explain to me what a meltdown in basketball is. What is a meltdown?
A meltdown is Paul George in the bubble. That's a meltdown.
No. Give me. What is a meltdown?
Meltdown is
meltdown.
You completely fall away. You're not reliable. You don't produce. Yeah. You're not putting any. You're not moving anything that puts your team in a position to win.
Has anybody that averaged 35 in a series melted down?
You don't do what
I see Embiid melting down in the final.
No. That's called choking, Jay. That's called choking. If I go to the free throw line in a tall ball game and I miss both free throws and we lose, I choked. A meltdown is a complete no-show. Has anybody ever averaged 34.5 and been a meltdown?
I'm not saying Embiid is a complete no-show. So if you need me to change,
you said meltdown. That's what a meltdown is.
If you need me to change the words meltdown, he doesn't show up in the postseason like Jay said. That's false. What I am saying.
He showed up in the postseason.
He doesn't show up in the final moments when you need him to show up. Period.
35. Oh, so you said he choked in the final. So you saying choke now? You changing the choke?
Choke doesn't show up. I say meltdown. That's what I say. So I have no problem with the word. You want to say
that's wrong.
Semantics, that's fine. He doesn't show up when he needs to. When I need to win.
Did the Knicks choke against Indiana?
They sure did. They choked.
No.
You
want to talk about the Knicks not having their starters?
That's what they didn't have
their starters.
They have nobody out there.
When you don't have your number one scoring option on the team, which is Randall, he's supposed to be their number one, which I don't believe he's a real number one. But he
is not their number one scoring option.
Really? What has he been?
Jalen Brunson not the one.
Jalen Brunson
is their point guard. Point guards are not supposed to be the number one scorer. He becomes that person.
Basketball
becomes that person when there's no other person to score. Jalen Brunson has no problem scoring 15 and getting 1 million assists. No problem. He can feed Julius Randle. There's been plenty of times where he's dropping 40 plus and Jalen Brunson is the backseat. He's a true point guard. He just does what needs to be done to win.
What games did you see?
40 and 50 all in the playoffs, and
that's what he needed to do.
It is what he needed to do.
What? I'm trying to figure out what games you saw Julius Randle drop 40 plus.
You don't remember that? You must not be watching the Knicks. You must not be watching the Knicks. He didn't play this season. He's been out.
What are you talking about? Stop talking about bullshit. We're talking about what happened this year.
What are you talking about? Embiid melted down this year too. They got knocked out in the first round, period.
So basically, every team that didn't win the championship melted down in the playoffs.
If that's what you want to say, if that's what you want to turn my words into, if you don't understand what I'm saying about Embiid in the postseason, turning the ball over, come late game situations, missing free throws that he would normally make, that's what I call melting down. When you can't perform,
or is that just good defense from the other team?
That's not defense when you're not hitting your free throw. When you just literally kick a ball out of bounds and nobody's next to you. Nobody was next to him. He kicks the ball out of bounds. We can pull it up. It's fine. He just literally, the ball just kicks out off of his leg out of bounds. Nobody was there. These are the things that happen to Embiid. So
that's a meltdown.
To me, it is. It is. If you can't get the ball under control come fourth quarter, then you're melting down.
How many superstars melted down this year in the playoffs?
So many. Too many to count.
Yeah.
You can only be one winner.
I think Dominique. I think we just got a different definition of a meltdown. Man, we got a different definition.
I think that Embiid and Paul George are soft. That's what I think, and I think them coming together is a bad. No, I don't. I don't think Maxey is soft. I think he is the piece that they need, and if he becomes a third or a fourth option on the team to capitulate to Paul George, who's aging, that it's really not going to work. They need Tyrese Maxey to ascend on that team. He needs to be considered a 1A and 1A or 1B person on that team in order for them to succeed. Paul George needs to be the third option in order for them to really have a long run in the playoffs. And I don't see them getting out of the second round again.
It's been 34 years.
In the East, I can see them if they're healthy. I can see them definitely getting the second round. They probably can get to the conference final if they're healthy. It's only in the Eastern Conference Finals is Boston and who else? Like we can say the Knicks when they added Mikal Bridges. I mean, Milwaukee. Okay, Milwaukee. I give you Milwaukee.
There are contenders in the East. There's contenders in the East, and I think that the goal is for Philly to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They've been to the second round. Their problem is they can't get out of the second round. So what is it going to take? Do we really believe that it was?
No, the problem is health.
I'm talking about from a winning perspective.
It's going to be hard for everybody
out
in the
of
East.
the second round.
The problem is health. If they can stay healthy, that we can see. My clock starts for a superstar when they get the basic pieces that they needed, and a superstar needs a good coach and a good number two, a legit number two. This is the first year Embiid has had a legit number two. His clock starts this year,
and a good coach.
Yeah, his clock starts this year.
What did you say?
The one thing I said, the East is going to be a toss-up because getting past Detroit is going to be.
I knew you said some bullshit.
Yeah, that's right.
They just got Tobias. My goodness, are they going?
Hey, hold on. They had the small three before that. They had the twin. They had Cade Cunningham, and who else did they get before Tobias? Who they draft?
Was it Ivy? No, that's not. He's not on it. Is it?
Yeah, Jay Ivy is on that team.
He is on that team.
I can't remember who the fuck we just drafted.
While you bullshitting, they have some pieces. And
then Ron Holland,
and then with what's your boy JB Bickerstaff
on the coaching staff.
All I know is I need Tobias Harris's agent. I know it's his dad, but I will hire him in a quick of a second.
He has made the most money to do the league in the entire NBA. I think he's the luckiest NBA player. His contracts for what he's produced and done.
Always crazy. His bank has always been crazy. And
Sam Bradford of the NBA.
He has never been a number one, but he's gotten paid like one.
I trust the Pistons as much as I trust gas station sushi.
Chris, listen. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Don't be surprised if Detroit make the play-in. Don't be surprised if Detroit make the play-in.
Detroit is not making nothing with the word play in front of it. Not making the play-in, the playoffs. Only thing they're gonna be playing is pick up basketball in Cancun when the season while the season is still going on because they're gonna get eliminated before All-Star break.
They're gonna be on the playground hooping. That's the only play they're gonna be.
They're gonna be playing intramural ball at the Y. I'm not trusting the Pistons to do shit.
Was gonna be getting them LA runs in.
They're gonna be out there getting work with Chris Brickley. Them boys not doing nothing come postseason, man. I'm not worried about that.
I see Embiid and Paul George being, like late in their careers. They're going to be the Charles Barkleys and the Patrick Ewings that never won. That's what I believe.
Yeah, that's a lot of them, though.
It's a
lot of people in that category. A lot of great players in that category too.
Now that we didn't beat the stuffing out of the Paul George signing, let's get to some of these other ones, man.
I didn't like that. The way you said that. Let you rock.
So there is no more Splash Bros in the Bay. Klay Thompson is now officially a Maverick. Zoe, tell me, let's kick it off. How you feel about that?
I think it's interesting that he chose Dallas over another team that's in the same state that you're in.
We'll get to that in a second.
But we'll get to that in a minute. But I mean, I kind of don't like Dallas's moves. I don't like him going there because honestly, Klay stopped looking like Klay about 2 years ago. We've talked about it before, and that team should have been blown up with the exception of Steph probably 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? As far as if they want or give the young guys a chance. It's the end of an era. What they did in Golden State is great. I think that Dallas, I don't know what Klay gonna look like, and so on paper it looks like they got a shooter, which he is still that. He's not the defender he once was, but I am 100% indifferent on this until I see it because I don't know how this is gonna work. I think that they needed to stick with the plans of getting as many long wing defenders pause around Kyrie and Luka so they can continue to play defense, because they know that their star player ain't gonna do it. So when you get a guy like Klay, I think that yes, he has the shooting. He's been in the league for a long time. He's a good veteran, but at the same time, I think anybody that if you can get a 6'9" dude who can defend, and they lost Derrick Jones, who was a integral part of their playoff run, especially on the defensive end. Like it remains to be seen for me.
E, let me ask you a question. Do you think Klay is a day one starter, or do you think he comes off the bench for the Mavs in that system?
I think he came there to be a day one starter. I think he came. I don't think he came there to go sit on the bench.
Yeah,
he came there to be a day one starter. Now, how he plays out as a day one starter remains to be seen. But honestly, man, I don't think. I'm kind of with Zoe on this one, because like we ain't seen the killer Klay in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, he had two very bad both season-ending injuries.
You know what I think it was? I think when it started with them injuries, bro. Like after he got that major, what was it, an Achilles or something?
It was an Achilles and the ACL, right?
Achilles and ACL. He really hadn't been the same, to be honest with you.
And I mean, we all seen it too. He wasn't as explosive.
He's really an ex-splash brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He really ain't splashed in a long time, bro. So
whoa, hey, yo, whoa, hey,
look,
get out of Mexico, bro. Get out of Mexico.
Golden State is stupid, man. Golden State is dumb. Well, first of all, congratulations to Klay getting the situation that he felt appreciated down there in Dallas.
Not a circus.
But Golden State, they really messed this up from 4 or 5 years ago, man. They were supposed to get rid of Draymond, not Klay, or get rid of both of them and rebuild around Steph. They really had everything in their hand, because they had the replacements that they needed. Jordan Poole, they had all these guys that were supposed to replace Draymond and Klay and move forward with Steph. They literally came to the prom with Kelly Rowland and left with Lizzo because her mouth is big. And that's what Draymond did. Draymond talked his way into contracts and forced them to re-sign him, and they pushed Klay out.
Why you do Lizzo like that, Mel? God dang.
We're not going to
no disrespect to anyone that felt disrespected, but that's a loss. If you do that ever in life, you lost. Then a motherfucker.
Flag on the play. Lizzo out here catching strays.
No, but it ain't nothing wrong with Lizzo at all. It's just that if I came with Kelly, I would leave with Kelly. Right? So, the splash. I think the Splash Brothers really built that franchise to what it is right now. For you not to be able to go out with them, but you going out with Steph and Draymond, that's the wrong girl you brought to the prom.
Crazy.
Why do you think that is, though, that Steph wants Draymond there, though? Because we're hearing multiple reports that he is the person that wants Draymond Green there. I don't think he convinced the Warriors I don't think Draymond was able to convince them. I think Steph convinced them. But I'm wondering, why do you think that is, that he prefers Draymond over Klay? I have my
If a dude had a gun in your back, would you do what he told you to do?
Exactly.
Well, you know what? I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true, but it did come out saying that Klay went to Steph and told him not to go to the organization to try to get him back. So I don't know how true that is, but that has been out there.
Yeah. If a big network pick up our podcast, and then 5 years down the line they pushing me out, and I come to one of y'all and say, don't go to them, let us handle that. Y'all better go to them if y'all got the pool. I might have said that. I might have said that.
Pride Boy, you want to be here.
You want the Knicks.
That man, and he not talking with his words, he talking with his eyes, man. He's like, man, don't come and get me.
Don't come and get me.
Here's my question. How does this move help either one of them? Like, as far as Dallas and Klay, right? How does this move help Dallas? It doesn't. How does this move help Klay? Klay, you want to show that there's something left in the tank. Show me where you're going to get an opportunity in Luka Ball, and when it's not Luka Ball, you got to get a ball up the cap. Like, show me the opportunity. Where's opportunity live for you?
So I think for me, it's that recognition of the next stage of his career. Like, we're not expecting Klay to be the mover that he used to be, right? Like, this is where you find your spot on the wing, you spot up in the corner. Maybe you bring some of that screen offense into this. Like, it's gonna force Dallas, if you put him in as a starter, it's gonna force Dallas to play differently. But it also gives them that element of shooting that they didn't have. I mean, who else was hitting threes?
Chris, let me ask you a question.
This is not game 6 Klay.
How well can Klay Thompson shoot without the ball?
Man, that's a miracle question.
Now or before the injuries, though?
Ever?
No. Without the ball. He's not touching it. That's what he's asking. Can he get a 3-point shot up without getting the ball?
Hey, that's a 3-for-1 question. Don't ask me.
This is what I say. This is what I say. I need to answer Dominique's question because I ain't never get a chance to get to it. But this is what I say. I mean, then I answer Dominique's question. They're not going to play different, Chris. So good luck wishing that's going to happen. They're not going to play different. Right. They're bringing Klay there because they think that more shooting will help what they already do work, right? So obviously playing hero ball, 1-on-1 with Luka, 1-on-1 with Kyrie, and having 5 shooters around the floor, they got whooped by Boston. So their bright idea is the same thing what Daryl Morey was doing with Houston and James Harden. Well, man, we got exposed. It didn't work. Well, if we get more shooters, then it'll work. So they're saying Tim Hardaway Jr. wasn't a good enough shooter to knock down the threes, but Klay is. So now you're not going to be able to double Luka, and now we can make this flawed system work because Klay is over there, and you're not going to want to leave him open. That's what they're hoping for, right? And then to get to Dominique's question, you asked, what was your question again?
I think I asked, why does Steph prefer Draymond to Klay?
Because he's seeing Jordan Poole go to sleep and he not tired yet.
It's the same reason why Melvin keep me as a friend.
Jordan Poole got Pacquiao.
Hey, me too, Jay.
Yeah,
listen, I told you
that's why Melvin hang with me and Eric.
When somebody,
I think the same thing.
I'm telling you, when somebody got a gun in your bag, you'll say a lot of different shit.
Yeah, Steph went and convinced them because Draymond had already convinced him. Like, nigga, go talk to them boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go do it.
Steph need to man up there.
Look at that.
I've been saying it, Chris. Hey, look, he is the Suge Knight of the Golden State Warriors.
Gotta be.
The boss.
They'll be like, hey, homie, look, you gonna make sure they sign me to another deal.
So speaking of this comment, let's go ahead and dive into that. A lot of people avoided that catastrophe
circus
over there in South California.
Ain't got no catastrophe, baby. We're getting ready to win another chip.
Oh man! And in all those free agent signings that didn't happen in LA, allowed them to re-sign LeBron to a 2-year, $104 million deal.
Max.
Let's go ahead and talk about it, man.
Max.
Man, how you feel about it?
Hey, man, look, LeBron know what he getting ready to do. That's LeBron's team. They ain't even Lakers.
LeBron Senior, LeBron Jr.
That's the LeBron Lakers.
LeBron and
That's
LeBron.
the problem.
LeBron and LeBron Nets.
That's who they got on their roster.
Hey, that's LeBron's team, man. First of all, pick up my son. It's the coach I want y'all to take. It's my team, baby. We might as well change it. LeBron.
Who is that?
LA Bron.
That ain't that baby that was born like 2 months ago, is it?
That's
6 months ago.
That's the latest. That's with
that shirt say "Pop Pop Baby."
Sheesh.
The LeBron Lakers.
I'm trying to podcast. Come on, talk to him.
New pair. Yeah, you about to get replaced.
Right.
You out of here. You are out.
Hey, LeBron gets to do whatever he want to do. Jeannie Buss want to keep him that bad. Hey, it is what it is.
That's crazy.
I don't know, man. I think LA is allowing themselves to get fleeced just over and over again.
Now, we'll win another championship in the next 5 years.
Wouldn't LeBron would be gone by then?
Oh,
and listen, and summer league championships don't count.
Nah,
with Bron and Bronny together now, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go to that circus act. Nobody wants to go to that. Like they had plenty of free agencies, quality free agencies that probably fit that team, and they just tell them no. Nobody wants to deal with that nonsense over there. To me, it's just starting to become too Hollywood for a lot of these players. They just want to focus on the game.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this is Hollywood. You know what I mean? This is what it is, man.
Right. That's why you can't get nobody.
Yeah, when the Spurs come to LA.
Oh no, they just signed. They just signed nobody.
And listen, and just like Hollywood, the Lakers ain't been good in years.
Nah, who they just signed? They just signed.
We just won the championship 2020, dog. What do you want to
Jay?
And
let me know who that is.
2024.
Oh, they just signed 3 people this week.
That boy, the old boy,
Bronny, Dalton, Connect,
LeBron, and
LeBron. That's it. Dalton Connect.
LeBron and LeBron.
Nah, they got
they just signed JJ Redick.
Yep,
yeah, they've been signing everybody, man.
Have y'all ever heard of a late second round pick getting a fully guaranteed contract?
Never.
It don't really happen.
Hey man, look. Listen. I respect the hustle, man. If I got to take an advantage on the situation, I'm gonna take advantage of the situation. It is what it is, man. We can't hate the player. We gotta hate the game. You know what I mean?
Eric, Eric, you got a son that follows in your footsteps.
Hey, man, listen, man.
Eric, hold on, Eric. You got a son that follows in your footsteps career-wise. We're not gonna talk about the career, but you got a son that follows in your footsteps. You trying to tell me you would give him handouts
in that journey, in that career,
in that journey? Let the journey begin.
Hey, you're right. If I got any influence, NFL, AFL, I don't give a damn what it is. If I got an opportunity to get my son on the same team as me, come on, homie. You do the same.
No. It's not that. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. No. You didn't just get him on the same squad as you. You got him a whole lot of other than that. I mean, guaranteed contract.
Hey, man, listen. If you my boy and I can give you the hookup on something, you don't think I ain't gonna do it?
Yeah, you're not giving away handouts. You making your boys earn it. I know you is. I know you making your boys earn it.
My kids.
Yeah,
my kids are spoiled. It's different. My kids are spoiled. It's different, dog. I'm just talking about like the average. You know what I mean? My kids is different. It's just different for me. I'm saying if I was LeBron though, and my kid been playing basketball his whole life and he decent, I'm gonna get my opportunity. Yeah.
But if he got 3 more years of eligibility, Eric, what's the purpose of rushing?
I'm just saying, like, don't you think his son
earned it? He could have, but Eric, he could have earned it.
Be telling him something though.
But listen, if he got to his senior year and he wasn't good enough to make it, then I would use that power then.
Of course.
No, nah, man.
Your freshman year, you can't make him earn
his spot, yo. The coach just said he earned the spot.
Sure,
what are y'all talking about?
Is getting paid by Clutch Sports.
Coming from a person who didn't earn his spot. Coming from a coach that didn't earn his spot.
How he didn't earn his spot? How he didn't earn his spot? How JJ Redick didn't earn his spot?
Name his hold on, E. Name his coaching history, please.
Yeah. Hey, listen. He coached his son's 4th grade basketball team.
4th grade.
he has been. He was the winning coach 3 times in a row at K Academy and during while he was while he played at Duke. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, man, he got all the volunteers. He got his MOVSC
on. Yeah. All his qual sheet is signed off, man. He got signatures in every block.
He got his Eastwatch pen. What you want, man?
Let me get the T Perfect super chat, man. I appreciate it, man. Salute to the panel. You guys drop facts. I drop facts. I don't know about the rest of them.
We drop facts. You right.
Love the States. Keep it up. Also, Kobe isn't top 5. Lord have mercy. He had to throw that at the end, man.
Hey, Mel, he's a 5-0 sailor.
Y'all ever seen the 5-0 sailor fail PRT?
I have. I sure have.
Oh my God!
It don't exist. It don't exist. But evidently we had one in the flesh talking to us, telling us
she was big as a motherfucker. And she was like,
"Wait,
She's like, I'm a 5-0 sailor. I said, God damn.
I'm like, ma'am, we Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
And, go ahead, just keep talking. Go ahead, ma'am, keep talking. Keep talking.
What in the PRT just happened?
It just happened.
Man, come on, man. You know somebody that never took a PRT.
You ain't get no 5-0s though.
So I said, what in the PRT is going on?
Is this military talk?
Yeah.
What y'all talking about?
Yes.
Hey, Chris, 5 years, not one. I ain't never take one.
Anybody in the chat understand what y'all talking about?
Before we switch gears though, was there any like under the radar signings that you thought were really good? Anybody?
I like under the radar. You know what? I would say this. I wouldn't say a signing was under the radar, but I think it was under the radar that Denver let Caldwell Pope go because they just lost Jeff Green and Bobby. I was about to say Bobby Brown, but freaking Bruce Brown.
Out there with a pocket full of crack out here.
They let Bruce Brown go last year. Jeff Green go, and it was very instrumental to their bench, especially Bruce Brown. And then they let Caldwell Pope go, who's another knockdown 3-point shooter, a professional who also plays D.
Pope.
Pope. However you want to call it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I thought I said Caldwell Pope, but maybe my lips are just getting a little bit too big. But I don't know.
KCP.
Yeah, KCP. But those three people that they let go, of course, they let Reggie Jackson go, and he was kind of the replacement for some of that. So he's gone, and he did very well while Murray was out injured. So, but they signed DeAndre Jordan, who they rarely play. I'm like, dude, what are they doing in Denver, man? So I don't know, man. Those are my big signings for sure.
And they're trying to get Russ over there.
Russell Westbrook?
I don't understand what that does. What does that do?
It does nothing.
I don't think it does anything.
Russell Westbrook, you've gotten to the point now where you got to realize that Jamal Murray is gonna miss 20 games a season. You just don't want to lose those 20.
Yeah,
you right. Westbrook in there, you won't lose those 20.
I would rather lose those 20 than have Westbrook in there building a fucking house.
Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Chris said after 20.
No,
I'm worried about the other 62.
Yeah, charge them 20 to the game. Yeah.
Listen, if man, I don't think Westbrook fits in that system at all. It wouldn't be a good fit at all. You just getting a construction worker out there building houses in Denver for a low price. That's it.
Well, you ain't lying.
He'd be like a playmaker coming off the bench because he's not a starter to me now.
No, definitely not.
Absolutely not a starter.
I have one that I thought was really interesting. Kevin Porter Jr. to the Clippers. Like he went overseas.
Ooh, that was a good one.
And I felt like nobody's really talking about it. I feel like he wants to be under the radar, and I don't blame him for those situations before he left the league. But I think that could make a difference for the Clippers, not hugely because they lost Paul George, but if they had they retained Paul George and he came, I think that would have made a difference for them. So I'm curious to see what else the Clippers are going to.
I think that replaces Paul George. I mean, of course, not his experience, and of course, he hasn't risen to the All-Star level that Paul George, but he's that good of a scorer. Kevin Porter. That was a good one.
Quite a replacement. I don't remember what Paul George was averaging, but Kevin Porter Jr. I think was averaging somewhere around under 20 points. So I don't know if the scoring is replaced, like the explosiveness, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen with him because
he'll definitely play more games. He'll definitely play more games than Paul.
Yeah, he's young. He's younger. He's not sustaining that many injuries and all that stuff, man. And he can score that basketball, man. I'm loving it. I'm surprised more contenders didn't look into grabbing him before they did.
They were scared, and
it was that situation that he had before going to Greece, because he went to Greece when that all happened, and so like people kind of forgot about him, and I think that they're wondering, okay, what is he going to do? Is it safe to to go all out on Kevin Porter Jr.? What what is he doing in his personal life too. So
we'll see what his mindset is at.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean that crazy. That was, but the thing is, he's been out of basketball for a long time. I think there'll be an adjustment period, but yeah, just like you said,
he's really out of basketball though. He went overseas. It wasn't like he stopped playing, but of course, not playing in the NBA, I think, does make a difference. And I'm sure teams were hesitant to sign him. So I mean, he was obviously out of the league because of that incident. So they weren't so hot to trot to sign him. So I'm
to the Clippers for rolling them dice though. Like I mean, being the ones to do that because they definitely did it.
Yeah,
they definitely rolled some dice.
They ain't got nothing to lose.
I mean,
what's the odds in Vegas?
It ain't like that. The LA Clippers is a championship team. Like they have a long history of winning. Like
I agree.
That's true too.
So,
but my biggest small moves, go to OKC. Like I like everything OKC did. Getting nobody from New York.
Yeah, they added.
I thought that was big.
Yeah,
that definitely was big. But I know that Hartenstein is going to like move the needle for them. But I hope so.
Well, now you can't beat up Chet. Like you can't like he won't be there. Like he'll be playing, but he don't have to be your predominant rim protector. You know what I'm saying? Like Chet can shoot. He can shoot from out there. So now he ain't got to play, huh?
No, I was just agreeing. He'll be more.
Yeah. Nah, so you could put all 7 foot of him out in the wing. I don't know why 7 footers like to be out there now, but that's today's NBA.
100 pounds soaking wet. That's why he like to be out there.
All 7 foot of him is crazy though, Jay.
He 100 pounds soaking wet. He
pause.
I'm curious what's going to happen. I think some players play better with certain players. Like I think that Steph Curry and Kevin Durant were the perfect teammates for each other, and I haven't seen them have a better teammate than the other person. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see like how Hartenstein is going to perform over there with those guys. And I think it looks like it's a good trade on paper, but for me the verdict is still out. So I'm curious.
And getting rid of the kitty in the Spades game was cool too. Okay, so did that.
Yeah, I think that they needed to move away from that guy Giddey because of his, issues.
Yeah,
they said he went to Chicago and bought R. Kelly's old house.
I knew you was going to do that or something.
Anyway,
I think
left the furniture in there and everything.
It's a very distracting situation for them to have been going through, and they still made it pretty far in the playoffs.
And he wasn't playing well either. So
right, so it was just they only were playing with 4 people.
Yep.
Yeah. You at R. Kelly's house and you ain't playing well.
I don't know how to hog top people.
It can't be both, right?
Be both. God,
I'm out here fighting for my life.
Gotta pick a struggle. He was fighting for his life and not playing. It was just
oh shit.
Yeah.
The girl went to the prom with somebody else. He was dealing with that stress.
Yeah. Oh man.
Jesus Christ. We gotta move on.
Anyway, so we already talked about it a little bit earlier. But just to expound on it just a little bit, who has the best chance to give Boston a run for the money out east? I think New York. I think the moves that they made this offseason, plus building on what they did last year, was just what they did last year was nothing short of incredible. And then they made some splashes in free agency. They're in, I think Jay said a couple episodes ago, they're in win now mode. Like
for sure,
completely 100%. They're trying to go. I think for me it's the Knicks that got the best chance to give Boston the run for the money out east.
Give me their lineup now. So they re-signed OG. Mm-hmm. They traded for Mikal Bridges. Mm-hmm. They let Hartenstein go. So give me their 5 and their first 2 off the bench, and then let's look at Philly's first 5 and first 2 off the bench.
So
and let's go from there.
So it would be Jalen Brunson.
And this is where it gets tricky.
So what OG would be the 3?
I guess, and that's what I want to see. I want to see what lineup they're willing to roll out. I mean, they got these 6'8" dudes who can defend and shoot the ball around Jalen Brunson, but I don't know how they're gonna I don't know how it's gonna look. You know what I mean?
They don't have a legitimate big. Like, let's be fair.
I'm saying Mitchell Robinson will probably be the starting five. Mitchell Robinson.
He stay injured more than Embiid.
Yeah,
we have this is what they have on paper, right? This is what you got to say what they got, right? So on paper, they still have Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. You got to plug them in. That's your 4 and your 5, right? OG will probably be a 3.
Mikal.
There we go. So Mikal.
Hey, Mel, you remember post Patrick Ewing Knicks with Allen Houston and Latrell and all them boys.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
they just rebuilt that team where everybody's the same player. Everybody's the same player.
Marcus Camby was
outside of Marcus.
Marcus Camby was that dude coming off the bench, man, blocking shots, rebounding.
That's what you hope Randall is, right?
And there's no Allen Houston on the squad.
Yeah, I don't that too.
There's no Sprewell on the squad. On the squad, you got a 6'2" point guard that wants to score most of the buckets. You got Mikal Bridges. I like him, but Allen Houston and Sprewell is better than Mikal Bridges. They don't have one of them type dudes.
Yeah, they don't have a second.
Listen, so what I'm saying by that, they didn't rebuild him like verbatim. What I'm saying is Allen Houston, Sprewell, like they all could pretty much do the same thing.
The blueprint, essentially.
It felt like there should be holes in the team, but that was the best
version of
the Knicks.
I get what you're saying. That was tough, and they played defense, so that's what you got. They're tough. So yeah, they did rebuild. They did build a tough squad, a resilient squad that kind of resembled their coach. I get that part, right?
But I'm still trying all of them 97 minutes a game,
1,000 minutes a game. But I'm still looking at it because they got redundancy at the shooting guard position. Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, Bridges.
What is all the same guy?
The thing about that is right. So if you start Mikal, OG's at the 3, right? Josh Hart will be your 6th man, right? Josh is coming off
Dante,
and then Dante will probably be the backup point guard because he can ball handle. He can't.
He ain't but he ain't got no backup point guard in him.
Deuce McBride made.
It's
those will be your first 2 off the bench. Josh Hart and White Dante.
Sure.
Your first 2 off the bench.
For sure.
So you start OG at the 3 or the 4. I mean, are you going a small ball and putting Randall at the 5?
That's what I would do.
No, I would put Randall at the 4 and Mitchell at the 5.
I would put OG at the 4, Randall at the 5, and just run athletes, bro. And
you would have to.
It could work. It could work, but you got the same thing they had in Brooklyn. A bunch of wings.
Yeah.
That you don't know who you go play. You had Dennis Smith Jr. You had Mikal Bridges. You had Ben Simmons. You had not Dinwiddie, but Dodo. From
757.
757. Dorian Finney-Smith. Finney-Smith. You got Cam. You had Cam. What's the shooter name? Cam
Reddish.
Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson.
Thank you.
Johnson.
Like you had 6 dudes that needed PT at 1 or 2 positions.
Yeah. Definitely, it was a cluster of wings. Now, what I will say is Mikal Bridges rose to the top of that as far as scoring goes a little bit in Brooklyn, but yeah, they had the same players, and I don't understand what they finally they blowing it up, and this is what Josiah deserves. That's all I really wanted to say.
Honestly, I don't think that Brooklyn team
blow it up, all of it,
getting all those wings. I don't think that team was ever meant to be competitive. I think they were just stockpiling pieces to unload to try and get stuff back for the future. That team was never meant to be competitive because they had holes at certain positions and they had an overabundance at others, which would never work, right? And we saw it didn't work. So
all right, so let's finish this lineup and then bounce it off of Philly. My bad. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I said that in the NBA that works all the time. Actually, he said it would never work, but no, it works all the time.
What they're trying to do is just get those. They're trying to do the same thing. The only thing they are trying to do is match Boston's wing guard, perimeter play and these players. So I get what they're trying to do, but offensively, I'm looking and is Jalen Brunson gonna have to carry the load again? Because are these dudes really can be true number 2s or true number 3? Who's your true number 2 or who's your true number 3 on that roster? I don't know.
The best part is that for the Knicks, none of that will matter. And that's what we saw last postseason. They're banking on none of these things that we're talking about for their season, for their postseason. They're just banking on having those 4 guys from Villanova playing together and having that chemistry and having that kind of cohesion, because these guys are smart and they know how to play basketball.
That's true. That is true.
Same school, they have the basketball IQ, and they just know how to win. They're winners. They won in college, and they're banking on them bringing that same kind of winning attitude and mindset to this team. So it's more than just positions, you know. And when you think about it, all you really need to be able to do in the East is kind of like guard the perimeter. They will need a different strategy for Philly, obviously, because they're not going to have much of an answer for Embiid. Yeah. But you know, when it comes to playing Boston, they can beat Boston. If they get Boston in the first round, they'd be lucky to get them in the first round.
This the bad thing about that though. You don't catch lightning in the bottle 2 years in a row, right? So what we seen from the regular season Knicks last year was lightning in a bottle. Jalen Brunson playing at the MVP level, and all of this stuff, and they get in the playoffs and have an amazing run, and then get a Philly team who is kind of not really ready, and then that star player is jacked up on one leg with cerebral palsy and all this stuff. Hold on.
Brunson played very well years in a row. He's been playing very well since with the Mavs.
I've been singing Brunson praises for a long time, even when
Dallas. Since Dallas.
Exactly, since Dallas. I've been telling people about Brunson, but this is my thing. The Knicks catching lightning in the bottle again this year is not likely, and them catching Philly with Joel Embiid on one leg again, I would say that's kind of likely because he stayed hurt a lot. But if he's not hurt, we don't see the Knicks in the second round. They barely beat them with Joel Embiid on one leg without Paul George. So now you got a more seasoned Tyrese Maxey, add Paul George, add Eric Gordon, add Andre Drummond, and if Joel Embiid can stay healthy, watch out. It's gonna be weird, but the lineup of the Knicks and the lineup of the Philly 76ers, I don't even know who all they got, Brittany. I yield to you on that. Like, who will be their starting 5?
What's your potential starting 5 right now?
Well, to me, I feel like they should find a point guard. I don't know who that point guard would be. It's not really a lot of them out there. I know a lot of people want Maxey. I think he's more of a 2 than a 1. He's just a smaller 2. But right now, if it's just based off the roster, I guess Maxey will have to go at the 1 at this moment. The 2 will have to probably be Kelly Oubre, and I see him coming off the bench. I think he's better coming off the bench to provide a little bit more explosion when he's consistent. But right now, so the 3, Paul George. 4 is still trying to find out. 5 is Embiid, and then your backup big is Andre Drummond. Eric Gordon will come off the bench. He is not starting. You know, a lot of people have him starting. He's not starting. I know they're trying to go after Dorian Finney-Smith. I know that's one of the guys.
That'd be good.
That would be a really good.
They're trying to go after to play that 4 position. So now, that's really all there is.
Philly and Boston need to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see them match up. That would be the best. That would be the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference, you know, in those conference finals. And that's what we want to see.
I want to see.
Did the NBA ever give us what we want though, Dominique? We wanted OKC in Boston or Minnesota in Boston, but they gave us the Mavs.
You know what I'll take though? I'll also take, if somehow by a miracle Milwaukee can contend next year, I would take seeing Giannis versus Embiid as well. I would love to see Giannis versus Embiid.
I'm not watching Giannis as long as Glenn the consultant is still running the fucking show.
I don't blame you. Like, but I guess I want to see that so that Giannis can get exposed. That's what I want to see. I want to see
like Luka, like Luka.
Yeah, in a way, like I just, you know, I keep.
You want to see Giannis run full speed to get all his points?
I just want to see him galloping down the court and, you know, getting exposed.
Nah, she want to see the Nassas act ass in the finals.
Did he just request? Did he just request a trade? Was that real?
Who? The Nassas?
You know,
yes.
The Nassas will never leave the umbrella of Giannis. He knows that he is nothing outside of that Giannis bubble.
Right, well, I want to see 76ers versus Milwaukee, even if it's a first round. I just want to see them. I want to see it.
Yo,
and we'll probably get that for sure in the first and second round.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think I would like to see that too. I want to see Dame, everybody healthy. I need everybody to be healthy. I want everybody to be healthy. I want to see Dame against a Maxey. I want to see Joel, I guess, against a Giannis. Like I agree with that. I would like to see.
I want to see foreign matchups. Like I would love to see the Mavs versus Jokic. Like I want to see that. I want to see Luka versus Jokic. I can't.
Hey. Embiid's a U.S. citizen. No, I'm just.
Facts.
You know what I mean.
But in summer, he's a U.S. citizen. Facts.
You know what I mean? And I think he's allowed to play for France. I think he has dual citizenship. So he can play USA. He could play for France. I just want to see it. I want to see what those matchups look like. I want to see how the foreign players play against each other. You know what I mean? And we're not usually, for some reason, I feel like I'm not seeing those matchups in postseason.
All right. Anybody else got any sleepers in the East? They might think
sleeper. I'm not really a sleeper. I'm interested to see what Orlando looks like next year.
Yeah.
Boy, listen.
I'm just fascinated in Orlando. Period.
That's right. I like what they're doing. I love Paolo Banchero.
They just signed Franz Wagner to a 212, I believe, 5-year deal for Franz Wagner.
Orlando.
Listen.
They look like they might be
scared of getting KCP for 3 years. So
and a shooter with Suggs who've been playing lights out defense. I'm like, yo, they got a young nucleus over there. I'm watching them.
They're probably
a home run next year in free agency. I
don't
know
who they're gonna get. 2 years away. They're probably like 1 or 2 years away from being perennial contenders.
P5 is like that though, by the way.
So over to the other side of things. Who's got the best chance of knocking the Mavs off of repeating as Western Conference champions? I say everybody.
I was going to say everybody. I like Minnesota. I do. Something about that Minnesota team. I think they just need more experience. I think they got that experience this year. I don't think the Mavs is knocking them off again.
Nah.
Honestly, I think they need to figure out I think they need to bench Gobert. Gobert needs to come off the bench. I don't think that he is a legit starter. In the postseason, we've seen him collapse. I don't want to say meltdown.
I was just about to say.
We've seen him collapsing come postseason after freshly winning Defensive Player of the Year. It was disgusting personally for me to watch. So I think he needs to come off the bench and they need to start Naz Reid instead. I think that every time they went that way, they played much better as a team, more cohesive, and just the defense was better. Gobert is not, he's not what everybody is saying that he is, you know? So I also think, I don't know. I just think that the Mavs, they need to figure out a lot of things next season because it's not going to be easy for them to get back to the conference finals, let alone the finals.
So look,
go ahead.
Starting Gobert got Minnesota to top 2 in the West, right? So it was working. Now getting in the playoffs and playing one of the top teams and that player getting exposed it shouldn't in every case lead to a knee-jerk reaction of you can't start. I'm going to judge you off these 7 games and the 82 games we play next season, you can't start them. Because what happens if you start Naz Reid, who's mostly an offensive player, and they was using him to offset the scoring they was getting from their starters, and when they bring in Naz Reid, they can continue the scoring with the bench. If you put him in the starting lineup, you're not going to bring Gobert off the bench and get points. Right. So he balances out what they're really trying to do. I like Naz Reid more than I like Gobert, but if you're going to have him on your roster and be paying him all that money, might as well use his defense and just make sure you stagger the minutes of Naz Reid and Gobert really, and blend it really good. But yeah, you're right. He got exposed against Dallas. But I mean, if the goal of Dallas is to put him in the screen and make him play one-on-one against Luka, and you're going to let him do that every time.
That's absolutely ridiculous that they did that.
It's just about what lineups are going to work, right? So I think you can play with lineups that come postseason to either confuse the other team or figure out what is going to work, because I don't see Gobert being able to defend Joker. He wasn't able to defend anybody in the postseason from what I saw. It was bad.
Now he did a good job with Joker in the game. I'm sorry.
If they get the Lakers, they're just going to run straight through him.
I don't know.
Gobert too weak.
The games that they didn't give Jokic to hand off the merchandise treatment, Gobert and whoever was guarding Jokic did a really good job. But when you give Jokic to hand off the merchandise treatment, can't nobody guard him.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Here's the thing. Chris' question was who has the best chance of knocking Dallas off as repeat for Western Conference champions. And of course, my original answer was going to be OKC because I really like what they're doing.
Of course.
However, the clear answer is Dallas. They're going to get in their own way. Listen, with this Klay signing, the team that they start on day one will not be the team at the All-Star break, at the trade deadline. It's never going to work. They're going to have to do something different, and it's going to be too late for them to. They're going to still be trying to figure out a formula at the end of the season. It's not going to work.
Yeah. I don't know who the answer is. Any team, I guess. I saw somebody ask about what they think the Suns are going to look like next year. That's one of the most interesting teams to see what's going to become of this, because I think this has to be the year. Well, some people wanted it to be last year, but this has to be the year where, something happens. Something has to happen with this team and the payroll that they have before they have to continue to make difficult or not difficult decisions to where they got to break this up, because none of these dudes that they have, KD included, all of them fit. Like, I just don't know. Like, you're paying a lot of money to get the results.
Nothing.
Yeah, to get the results you begin. You're paying too much money. So what's going to happen this year? This is the year for them.
I mean, I don't think it's a year for them. I think it's the only team in the Western Conference that's not going to make any noise, that's not going to be a true contender. After seeing what they did last season, I would hope that they could get better. But Bradley Beal, I don't know. I just don't think that he fits with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I think their team is too small. They're not defensive enough. They don't have enough of anything. They don't have enough offense. They don't have enough defense to beat the rest of the teams in the West.
I can't hear you, E.
E, we can't hear you. No, we can't.
Maybe that's why. Maybe the mic was unplugged. Who knew?
That might be the reason.
Hey, Bradley Beal can't beat Bradley Beal. So, like, I think he might be washed up though, for real.
I mean,
another injury-riddled person.
It's not.
It'll just not the same dude he was.
Yeah, he's just not the same dude he was, man. Kind of like Klay Thompson.
Shout out to John Wall.
I just wonder, though, if those guys that come from small market teams, like he was playing for the Wizards, like, did everybody watch those games? There's going to be more nationally televised games where, you're going to see Kevin Durant and you're going to see, the Wizards. So I worry that perhaps people just don't know, like, the holes in Bradley Beal's game.
Yeah,
was he really built to play for, a truly like a team that's meant to contend? I don't know.
I don't think none of these pieces fit. That, to me, that's the biggest thing. I even said it when they signed Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. I'm like, to me, it's just too much dominant. They all need the ball in their hands to make their offense work. And is anybody ready to concede that position to allow the other person? Because we all have our roles, right? We've seen in the Heat years ago, D Wade said, I'm going to step back. I'm going to allow LeBron to take over, and I'll take the second role. Who's doing that on this team?
I mean, I thought that Kevin Durant and Devin Booker do a very good job of playing off the ball. Devin Booker, we've seen him play point guard. We've seen him be very successful playing off the ball as well. So I thought that Bradley Beal would come in, play the point guard role, and it would work. Like, on paper, I think it works. But when it actually happened, it didn't work. They didn't spend enough time playing together. Does anybody know how many games they actually played together as a three? It wasn't a lot.
Including the playoffs, it might have been 20 games.
So that wasn't a whole lot, right? So I feel like they have the same excuse that Brooklyn had when it was Harden, Durant and Kyrie together. Again, maybe, probably not as much, but I just don't think that they're clearly just not a good fit, like you said, Brittany.
I like the fit of KD and Booker. I don't think they have an issue at all. I think Bill's issue is that, you can't fit nobody in that's not there. He didn't start the season off because of injury. When he came back, he got injured again after like 2 or 3 games. He never got his stride. And if they can stay healthy, I think they can figure some stuff out. Now, in my opinion, it'd be nice for the team that Phoenix got to have a point guard that's a lockdown defender, a more physical guy that plays well enough on offense where you can get some points from him. And I think Dennis Schroeder, I think Dennis Smith Jr., I think point guards like that, Lonnie Walker, the fourth. I think point guards like that would be a better fit than Bradley Beal. But I think that's really the only and the other issue is Nurkic disappearing so much and them not playing Bo. But I think they could figure it out and be decent. It's just that if Bradley Beal is not going to be healthy, and he's not a pure point guard, and he's not a lockdown defender, I don't know how he helps Booker and KD because they got all the points they need. So I don't know, but if they figure it out, who knows? I mean, they might have enough.
The money they paying, they're not paying that kind of money just to be decent. Like,
well, they don't have to be decent. They couldn't be more than anything but decent without Bill because they was built to have Bill, KD, and Booker. When you have a big three, you're built to have all three of them there.
Mm-hmm. They have no bench either. They have no depth on the team. I don't think that their bench is good enough. I think their bench is good enough.
Their bench was good last year. They had Gordon, they had Bobo, they had Eubanks, they had Royce O'Neal, they had
I would have playing Eubanks so much. I don't like Eubanks.
I don't like Eubanks.
I didn't like their performance off the bench. It just feels
Grayson Allen as well. They had Grayson Allen as well.
Was Lee on there?
You also have to pinpoint the fact that a lot of that came from Frank Vogel. They do have a new coach down there in Phoenix as well, right? True. So Frank Vogel was very instrumental in that downfall because he was implementing the Eubanks minutes over Bo when we saw clearly that Bo was the better option, being the first one off the bench before Eubanks. We saw his defensive output was high. He could score. He was basically 3-level because he could score mid-range, he could shoot the three, spread the floor out, and he still had defensive impact. So picking Eubanks over him was a terrible mistake, and he died by that mistake because literally he ended up getting fired. You know what I'm saying? So I think Mike Budenholzer is a much more competent coach.
Yeah, he is.
I mean Frank Vogel has a ring, but we don't count that one. Mike has a real ring. Yeah. Mike Budenholzer has a real ring. And so I'm looking forward to seeing like how this team operates under that regime, before we start saying like,
here's the easy answer.
Blow this up here and there.
Here's the easy answer, and they can do this very easy. Solve your big man problem off the bench by going to go get Dwight or Bigger Cousins. Very easy, right? Solve your distributor or point guard problem by going to go get a real point guard and making Bradley Beal come off the bench like Ginobili and be instant offense. So if you go get a guy like Dennis Smith Jr. and he's starting alongside of Booker and KD, he's not going to be looking for his shot. He's going to be setting those guys up and playing lockdown defense on the other end.
Yeah.
And then you can come off the bench with Ginobili / Bradley Beal to get you buckets with Grayson Allen. And you got to and then you got to defend it down low and Dwight Howard. Easy thing.
Yeah, he'll have to. That's what Brad needs. I mean, like the reason why he was successful in Washington is because who else was going to score after Jay Wall? I mean, like who else? Who else was going to be the heavy lifting down there? So if you give him a chance to run with that second unit, I think it will benefit him because then you got the green light and you got a shooter in Grayson Allen who played really well in a lot of Bradley Beal's all time last year, which. Was good for them. Yeah, let him come off that second unit and be that guy. Jay, I know what school he went to.
Shout out to the brotherhood, man.
Give him the reins off the bench and give him the greenest light since Tom Shepard and Kyle Lee Watson.
Let him put it up. Let him put it up. Let him get the shots up. Shep.
So, but I'm not ready to put Phoenix up there saying that they're going to contend with the possibly making it to the conference finals, getting to the finals. They got a lot of stuff to figure out, but definitely, I'm looking at Minnesota and OKC for sure to make that trip back.
I want to see what role they play Rob Dillingham in. Is he that secondary guy? He's going to get heavy minutes this year, or not?
I think you kind of like sit him, let him learn behind Mike Conley. He still gets time, right? You got to play him, right? Yeah. But let him learn behind Mike Conley. We know that Mike Conley's 37, 38 coming up, right? Mm-hmm. He don't got that much juice left, and then you give him this year. And then you switch roles and let Dillingham be the PG next year.
Okay. For show.
All right. Do we want to take calls at all today, or we just?
Well, we hadn't taken any calls.
We haven't taken any calls. Mel?
Hey man, who fucking this monkey? Me or you?
Hey,
we got sponsors, man.
I don't know.
I can tell you who ain't. I can,
yeah. Monkey though, a monkey.
I can tell you who's not. I can tell you unequivocally who's not.
Oh man, maybe we'll take a couple of phone calls on the next one. Maybe.
There you go. Please, let's take a little bit.
But please. Speaking of the next one,
leave all animals alone, please.
Probably got Peter in the
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't let the ASPS slaves PA people get out.
The who?
Get it right. Get it right.
No.
No, what alphabet
I don't know what organization that is.
Don't worry about it. We'll find out.
That's that tribe. Asian True was getting that back.
And they said that's how the HIV started. We ain't believe them though.
Hey, man, please.
We ain't believe them though.
Okay.
Hey, don't worry about it. Look them up. They got Mike Vick's ass.
Man.
Don't worry about it.
Oh man.
Hey, show got
moving on. So, in the spirit of free agency, I asked the panel to kind of come up with a little list of who they thought might have been some of the biggest all-time free agency moves in NBA history. So I'll go. I'll put out my list. So I have Kawhi to LA. I think that was
you going in any order, Chris, or no?
Yeah, I'm going in any order.
Okay.
The Clippers?
Kawhi to the Clippers. Just for it turned them into instant contenders. It was supposed to, right? So, and they've been playoff teams ever since. It's just the health issues that ended up derailing the whole situation, right? LeBron to Miami, gotta include that one, right? The fanfare that he made going over there, what he did while he was there. Everybody was so mad when he left Cleveland. He got the 2 rings out of it. So KD to the Warriors, gotta have that one in there.
That's number 2 for me.
That's a good one.
KD to the Warriors. Instant impact. I mean, he got there and won 2 rings immediately. Would have been 3, in my opinion, barring injury, right? So that was a crazy time period to be a Kevin Durant or a Warriors fan or a fan of basketball because they were just hooping. Yeah. Or if you were a LeBron fan and you had to sit there and watch that annihilation for 2 years straight.
Chris, he looking right at you, Chris.
I'm sorry, but it was just, I mean, in 2 finals, y'all only got 1 game. That's an ass whooping.
Yeah. It's obviously one.
You got to fight them. That's
I would be remiss if I didn't say Shaq to LA.
Of course.
Oh, I was waiting on you. I was holding on. I was like, is he gonna say?
Yeah.
Which one is number 1 though? The KD to Warriors or Shaq to LA, man?
I would have Shaq to LA number 1, KD to Warriors number 2.
Shaq
to LA, and then they got 3 rings out of it, and Shaq got 3 Finals MVPs out of it. Right?
Thank you.
He was talking about it pre-show, man. And it's the same year that they went and got Kobe, And it aligned everything perfectly. That offseason changed the Lakers franchise.
And y'all have questions about the great Mitch Kupchak. And I know he wasn't the one that pulled those triggers, but y'all got questions about him. Though he from the legacy of that.
Yeah.
I give it to Jerry West, man. Rest his soul. I'm gonna give it to Jerry West. For me, number one free agent move for me. I like the Shaq and KD joint for sure. That's 2 and 3. You can debate those for number 2, but number 1 easily was Sierra to Russell Wilson. Man, leaving Future to get with Russell Wilson, a man that's gonna actually treat you right, cook cornbread. Take care, so you get what I'm saying. Like take care of Future's son, teach him how to play football. Jay-Z taught us that. All of that stuff for you to
go through that.
Yeah, sacrifice his football game for you because that man can't play no more. For you to stumble up across on that in free agency after you delivered no rings with Future, and then you get a ring with Russ. Best free agent acquisition I ever seen.
I really dislike this.
She for sure upgraded.
Upgraded.
And got a ring. Ain't got a ring.
It's the impact. It's the impact. Shock value and outcome.
And then Future got mad. He's still mad to this day.
Hey, man, look, you be like, what? Come on, you supposed to downgrade. You know what I mean? I'm Future.
Hey, listen. That Kawhi to LA, it would not make my list.
Talk about it.
Dude, first of all,
and I understand.
My list,
mad at that.
My list only brought championships. You know what I'm saying? These moves only created champions and championship teams. So I'm gonna put a very sneaky one on the list, and that's Drew Holiday to the Celtics.
Ooh, bars. Don DeMarco, bars.
Instant impact.
You know what I'm saying? That was almost Russell Wilson instant impact.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact they had to play 82 plus games, to get to that ring. But yeah, that was pretty instant.
I mean, he was definitely as Joel Santana would say, what the game been missing.
I knew he was going.
I will say this, Jay. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Rodman to the Bulls.
No, that was a trade. That was a trade.
I was talking about this pre-show, right?
San Antonio gave him away for Will Purdue, baby.
Hey, I'm throwing it in there.
A lot of if we want to throw the trades in too, we might as well. Because I was thinking like a lot of moves that I thought were free agents were trades,
but they ended up
trades. Kevin Durant to Boston
because they signed
Kevin Garnett. My bad, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen to Boston.
I think Malone to the Knicks. Sixers back in the day. That was huge. That was initially a free agent signing, but the team, I forgot the team Malone was on. Was it Houston? No, I forgot what team he was on at the time. They was collapsing. They just begged for it to be a sign-in trade. So I thought that was big for the Sixers. And
that's how a lot of them go. They say, okay, you leaving us anyway. We got to get something.
Hold on, you said Karl Malone to the elementary school.
Okay. I said Moses Malone to the Sixers.
My bad. I'm sorry.
What is you talking about, Jay?
Side note, did y'all see that he apparently got a kid that played in the NFL now?
You just realized that?
All over the place.
Yes.
He just decided to claim him. Yes.
He just decided to claim him. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. He came out when Karl Malone was sitting at the Detroit Shot game. He like, oh, he support them kids, but not me. Got it.
Golly. I like Melo to the Knicks. I know it didn't produce a championship, but like the run he had in New York
was a trade.
Yeah, but since he included the trade,
we throwing trades in there. We throwing trades in there.
Throwing trades in there.
That ain't even make it fun.
Then that opens it up.
That opens it way up.
Right. That's
far up.
Yeah, it's a bunch of them.
Now another good free agent signing, like you got to say this, man. Brian to LA, definitely.
I understand it, but I'm not.
Listen, it brought a championship. It brought back relevancy.
Some would say the Caldwell Pope to LA is what brought the championship, not Bron. Because Caldwell Pope repeated that and went to Denver and got another championship. Everywhere Caldwell Pope go, he getting a championship. Just like Drew Holiday.
Hey, so if
I think Anthony Davis brought them the championship. But
it was the 3 months off. It was the 3 months off that brought them that championship.
Wow, that's where we going.
Don't worry about all that bullshit you was doing earlier. We're here again right now.
This is where we going.
Yeah,
Dominic, I'm shocked at you.
You're shocked at me. So you guys didn't get to my 5 yet. I want to hear my 5.
Go do something safe, Cass. Go do something safe.
So you will be shocked because I'm going to say LeBron twice. Actually,
thank you.
I think. So I am going to say LeBron twice, but it's not LA. I'm going to go with number 1, and I'm going to go with free agency. I'll throw in a trade there just to make it fun. But first free agency for me is going to be Shaq because that led to 3 rings in a row. So that was the last three-peat that we saw in the last, 30 years or so. Like it was Michael Jordan, and they're the last team to do a three-peat. So I think that that's really important for us to note. Right. And then I would say the second one is going to be LeBron going to the Heat. They were in the finals 4 times back-to-back. 2 of those 50% wins, right? So I think that that was a big impact, and it was a huge, just as far as like what it did to the world, the decision, the donation that he was able to do for, what was it, Boys and Girls Club or something like that.
Yeah, 50% is pretty good if your business partner with one other person, but it ain't good. It ain't good. For
50% is still failing in school.
You know that I don't think LeBron is the GOAT, and you know that I think that him going to Miami was a fail. But just as far as like we're talking about biggest free agency impacts, right?
Yeah,
there's not a whole lot of free agency moves that were huge impacts like that. You know, there's more trades to talk about. So I'm gonna say the second move that he did that was really, to me, I'll go Shaq number 1, LeBron to Cleveland the second time number 2, and then LeBron to Miami Heat number 3. LeBron to Cleveland the first time, it was because, the second time was just because of that historic win, 2016 championship. People really hold that in high regard. I don't, but a lot of people do. So, I think that was a big deal for Cleveland and the history of their team. So they haven't seen a championship since. They haven't been a true contender since he was on that team. So, I think that that's historical. And then I'll be a little fun and say that I think that the trade of Kareem from Milwaukee to the Lakers was a huge impact. It brought them 4 rings. I mean, even for Kareem and his legacy, he would not be a 5-time champion without, going to the Lakers. And
I be forgetting he won one in Milwaukee. Damn.
Yeah, he won.
Can we combine that LeBron Heat one with Chris Bosh and a few other players that also went
that whole Miami free agency, that like all those moves were really important,
Right. Where are we going with this? Can we not? LeBron was the number 1 player on the team. Like, are we serious right now?
Actually, Wade, but yeah, I get your point.
I mean, I believe it was Wade's county. I believe it was Wade's team. I believe it was Wade's decision. In order for him,
I believe you was wrong.
In order to get LeBron to even perform and to play, Wade had to coach him mentally, physically. He had to tell him what game to play. So to me, he was always really the leader on that team, de facto, behind the scenes, on the court, wherever you want to call it. LeBron had the best talent, but he didn't play like it until Dwayne Wade empowered him and told him, hey, this is what you need to do. I'm going to give you the key to do your thing.
I'm about to piss E off real quick. Dominic, who was the alpha of that Miami Heat team?
You know what I'm going to say.
Dwayne Wade.
It was Dwayne Wade. It's Wade County. It's by wide margin. It was him.
Oh,
had to unlock LeBron. When you talk about players, when you talk about players having an impact on their team, and being able to lead their team and being able to get the most out of a player, that's Dwayne Wade. He was able to get the most out of LeBron.
That man not the alpha at 3. He's not the alpha nowhere. Nope.
Leave that man
the true alpha, as we know, is Pat Riley. We know, but on the court, by far, D Wade.
It was by far D Wade, and I mean, we're forgetting
listen. The alpha of that team was Udonis Haslem. It was
that
not
might
the
very
one
well
way.
be true. But Chris, I
might be
still have one more left on the table, and I'm going to do another trade, okay, just because we're talking about trades. I would say that Kawhi Leonard to Toronto was one of the best, trades that we saw that had one of the greatest impacts in NBA history, because he came in first season out and took that team to the finals and got a chip. He was able to exploit what was happening with the Warriors to win that year, and I think that was huge for them. And it was the first NBA championship that we've seen happen in Canada.
Now, Dominique, come on now. Now, all the excuses you ain't been giving nobody no excuses. God himself came down and gave Kawhi that championship he got in Toronto.
Hey, listen,
God made him hit that shot. That's one of the most iconic shots. It looked like it was going to be off the freaking side of the backboard, and it went in. I mean, that was so crazy. All I'm saying is it's historical. It's impactful. He didn't even want. So let's talk about this fact. Is that what we see today in the NBA is guys who don't want to play for a team, they just won't. He did not want to go to Toronto. It was every fiber in his being. And he was just like, look, I don't want to be here. For you to get me to LA and trade me where I want to go, I'm going to get you to the finals. That's what I believe is what happened. He went out there and balled, knowing that he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be in the cold. Do you know how difficult it is for a guy coming from Texas, San Antonio, where it's hot, where the weather's beautiful most of the year long, where you're training in that kind of weather to go and train in a Canada Goose? I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah,
I don't want basketball in a Canada Goose.
He's from LA.
He's from LA. He's from LA though.
From LA, that's where he wanted to be. That's all I'm saying, is that to make that move to a team where you don't want to go to be, he was just traded there. I get it. He wanted out of San Antonio, but he didn't want to go to Toronto. He made it clear that he didn't want to play there. He said it publicly, and he still came out as a professional, got on that court every game and gave it his best. And I think that should be highlighted. And I don't like what he's doing now in his career. I think he should retire. He's one of those guys that if he were healthy, he would be the MJ on the court. He's one of the best players in the league. But, what he did in Toronto was history. We don't see guys come out same year and win a title. We might see them get to the finals, but typically the only other person that was able to do that was KD. He went to the Warriors. They won a title that year. That's why he's number, 1 or 2 best free agency. I was just trying to be a little bit different with my picks, but KD is up there. He had an impact for the Warriors. He quote unquote saved their dynasty, because they wouldn't have a dynasty if it weren't for him.
Yeah, those 2 rings are important. Those 2 rings mean something to that dynasty.
And it totally took away from LeBron. He would have came back and beat the Warriors 3 times in a row. If it weren't for KD, LeBron would have 5 rings, 6 rings.
He probably should have 6 by now, to be honest with you. He should have 6.
If it wasn't for KD, he would have continued to beat the Warriors.
He would have. Everybody, LeBron is.
And I hate dealing in hypotheticals, man, but I can't help but think
injuries.
That if the Warriors were healthy in 2019, that would have been the most recent three-peat. Because as good as Kawhi and that Toronto team was, they didn't have no answer for that Warriors team if they were healthy.
KD
got hurt, bro.
I
know he did, and I'm not discounting Kawhi's ring, because he went and got down.
I'm discounting it. I'm discounting it. God himself came down with all the angels, the disciples, and everybody came down and was like, "Hey man, look, you've been working hard. I'm gonna go ahead and go on and give you this ring. Hey, KD, lay your ass down."
If y'all remember, KD came out in that finals game cooking.
He did. I thought it was a wrap.
It was over.
It was over for him to even try to play. Really,
but he knew what it was, and he the competitor in him would not let him.
Without KD, though, it went to him. It came down to him making that final shot, and he made the final shot. It wasn't like some random on the team hit. It wasn't like. I mean, it's iconic and it's very underrated. That's all that I'm saying. Just like Dwayne Wade's 2006 title is very underrated.
Definitely underrated title.
No, I give him all the credit in the world for that title.
I mean, we do, but I don't think
we do on the panel.
You talk about a title out the mud. Now that
that was a grind.
They was not supposed to win. They weren't supposed to win.
Not with an aging Shaq like that.
No, he went. That was
your number 2.
Dang, I was about to say something crazy.
He got out of shape, overweight, old Shaq.
I was about to say that was D-Wade's coming out party, but I didn't realize that would have sounded crazy. But or maybe it wouldn't have sounded crazy.
I mean, the way he played so explosive from Marquette into the NBA. I mean, I don't know. I was really shocked to see them team up together in Miami just because they were in the same draft class. Being in the same draft class, it's like a no-no. You want to compete against those guys. You want to show why you're the best of your draft class, not getting together with those guys. So I think that that's even more so why the 2010 decision was that bad. That's why people saw it as teaming up because they were in the same draft class.
It was almost worse than what it actually ended up being because I think all three of them were supposed to be going to New York with Melo or Chicago. One of them, they were supposed to all link up with Melo.
Mm-hmm. And that would have been like crazy history.
None if they would have got rings like that, sorry, E, but none of them shits is counting.
What?
Melo, LeBron, Bosh, and Dwayne Wade.
And Chris Paul probably would have tried to wiggle his way over there too.
I mean, can we keep it up, though?
Banana boat, bro.
None of them rings stack, though. Can we keep it a stack? When you manufacture rings, that's they don't count.
Crazy. It looks
how are they manufactured? Explain manufacture.
So to me, right, think about the layers in the NBA. So everybody has a job, right? If you're on the team, you're the player, right? So you get out there on the court and you play. You have your agent. They negotiate deals for you, etc. Then you have who's above that. Then you have the coach, right? Who might recruit players, might go to the front office and say, I want these guys, right? And then you have the front office. You have the basketball player, operations guy. They manage the team. They make a lot of those decisions, right? Mm-hmm. You might have a co-person there. But at the end of the day, like the front office is supposed to decide who and how those deals are orchestrated, not LeBron and Rich Paul. So when you orchestrate, when you go ahead and you pick all of your teammates and you still don't win, that's a problem. To me, out of 22 years now, LeBron has 4 years and 4 rings, and he was able to pick all of his teammates. He chose them. He said, I don't want to play with young guys. I don't want to develop people. He chose his coaches even. So when you're picking and you orchestrate everything, that's all that I'm trying to say. If you are the orchestrator and you get to pick everything and you're still losing, that's an issue. And you don't have dominance in your wins, that's where it becomes an issue.
You need to find a new orchestrator.
Hold on. You don't want to be the player, the GM, the coach, and all of these things. You're swallowing positions. Pause. You're swallowing those positions. You're eliminating people from, doing their job. So when you do that and you're essentially pulling all of the strings and you still can't win. I mean, you cheated and you still can't win. There's no reward for cheating.
Yeah. Hey, we got a call on the phone. Let's go. From Florida. What's up, man? What's your thoughts? You got 45 seconds.
What up?
What's happening?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
What up?
What's going on?
It's free money. I'm from the Bay Area, California. But yeah, I just was watching the y'all little show, and y'all was talking about how KD saved the Warriors. How is that? I don't understand.
I'm in the Bay, and I said it. So I said it, and I'll defend it. Warriors were never really built to beat the Cavaliers. That was, the Cavaliers beating LeBron and the Cavs in 2015. That was a fluke. Kevin Love and Kyrie were both injured. I don't believe that they would have beaten them that year had that not happened. So that's one, right? So that's the first year, that 2015 year. Then you have 2016, where LeBron essentially, he did everything on the floor. Kyrie did everything. And what they did have to do, both of them, was drop 41 points in multiple games, right? Mm-hmm. That had to happen in order for them to beat the Warriors, but that's where they found their confidence. And as soon as that happened, we see it still even today, that no matter what the Warriors are doing, no matter who they have, LeBron can almost single-handedly beat them because he's got that confidence against that team and he's been able to beat them. And so then you insert somebody like Kevin Durant, who he's just not better than. Sorry, Eric, Kevin Durant is a better basketball player than LeBron. He came to the Warriors and killed, and he showed why he was the best player in the league for those years that he was with the Warriors. Yeah, you drop LeBron on the Warriors, they would not have won. KD was the difference maker. That was Steph Curry's team, and he went there. He was Finals MVP because he was the best player on the team, and he saved their legacy. So they were about to lose 3 times in a row. That's why.
Yeah, I feel you, but this is the only thing I got a problem with that like type of logic about the situation is because everybody brings up injuries in 2015, and then like in in 2016 they don't bring up the injury that Steph had when he played the Rockets and he towards MCL. So they don't bring that up in none of these discussions. That's the only thing I got a problem with.
That's because
another problem.
Hold on. That the reason why people don't bring that up is because it's irrelevant to what your question was or what issue you rose. You asked how Kevin Durant saved the Warriors. She explained it to you, and Draymond Green, quite frankly, explained it as well. He said, "Without Kevin Durant joining us, we don't win another championship. We don't beat the Cavs again." Like they knew that. That's why they went and got Kevin Durant. If they didn't need Kevin Durant, they wouldn't never went and got him. They knew they wouldn't go beat the Cavs.
About who they got for Kevin Durant when he left.
They knew they wasn't.
They don't win in 2022.
Let's make it go both ways.
No, we don't have to make it go both. All we had to do is prove. No, all we had to do is prove that Kevin Durant saved the Warriors. All we had to do is prove that Kevin Durant saved the Warriors, which he did, and the Warriors admitted that. Draymond Green admitted that. They all knew that in the locker room that Kevin Durant saved their legacy. What happens if Kevin Durant doesn't show up is the Warriors don't win the next year. They probably don't make it back to the finals, and then the team blows up. They get rid of Green. They probably get rid of Klay, and the team looks totally different if they're not winning. So Kevin Durant did actually save them, but I appreciate your call, brother.
I mean, also though, Mel, everybody brings up injuries. I don't care about them. If you were on the court, you were not injured.
Yeah, but it's still irrelevant, man. Like if you call him to ask how Kevin Durant saved it, and we tell you how he saved the Warriors, then why are we bringing up injuries?
And injuries is a part of the game.
It's just part of it, and it's their job to not be injured too. People don't talk about that part of it.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes was hurt. You know what I mean? I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, we all know that football's a lot different because they actually wear it as a badge of honor to be injured playing. They view that as like, I'm ready to go. This is what I have to do. This is my job. Basketball is different where they sit out for an ingrown toenail.
Caller from Georgia. Go ahead. You got 45 seconds.
All right. I'm a Warriors fan. I'm sticking with them, boy. I like the Butterhill pick, but KD definitely saved them, boy. Even though KD could went to another team. My thing is in the 2016 finals, Harrison Barnes was trash. Bogut got hurt in Game 5 when Jeff Smith hit his leg. Iguodala got hurt in Game 5. And if them injuries didn't happen, and then if Draymond Green was playing that game, maybe Bogut don't be in the second half for him to get hurt. But with all that aside, KD definitely saved them, boy. But in the 2019 playoff run, they got to the finals without KD. KD went out early. They swept Portland, and they got there. And if Klay don't get hurt, they still might beat Toronto. Even with KD being hurt. Because Klay and Curry, they caught their rhythm. And then they was up in that game when Klay went up that dunk and got ran up under by Danny Green. They still might they might push against them. Who knows? They still might lose. But I feel like the media pushed KD out of Golden State the same way they pushed Shaq out of LA. If their favorite player doesn't have a chance of winning, they don't want to see it. You know what I mean? So I feel like KD saved them more definitely. But the Warriors 3-19 wasn't the same team KD went to because they lost. They lost Maurice Spade. They lost Barbosa. Mm-hmm. They lost so many players that was key to that core. Like there was a team effort to get that 7-3-9. They had chemistry. So when KD came, they had to get different role players. They got Zaza Pachulia. They got JaVale McGee. They got David West. They got so many different players. But KD most definitely saved them. And KD would have like at least 4 or 5 rings if the media didn't push him out because KD is never a media player. Draymond Green did what he did. That happens at every team. They argue, they fuss. I'm a hooper. I'm sorry. I've been drinking, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm a hooper myself. But
what are you drinking?
I'm a hooper myself. But teams argue. You're gonna get into it with your teammate. The media made it a big thing to break that team up because they knew what KD and Curry could have did, and they knew KD was looked at as the best player in the league at that time. Yeah. They knew if he keep winning, then he's gonna trump LeBron. The media, all these LeBron fans, they only hate KD because of that move. They never hated KD before that. When KD lost to LeBron and the Cavs, LeBron and the Miami Heat in 2012, when they really teased them boy, when they both been 2-0 going back to Miami.
Yeah.
They don't talk about that. They only hate KD because they knew he couldn't beat that boy with Curry. They knew it. So
I agree.
I most definitely feel like KD goddamn saved them boy because I'm a Curry fan. I went to Georgia Southern and back Curry played against us in 07, 08, and 09. Well, no, 08 and 09, and he whooped our ass. I was a Curry fan way before people knew about him in the Southern Conference. D2.
You down there at Statesboro, huh?
Yeah, I was at Statesboro. Man, I hate that racial ass time. I'm sorry. I'm on that hand dog, but
I'm
just called in to say that, man. I watch y'all every day. I'm glad y'all got the females on there. I enjoy them. I enjoy y'all. Man, y'all keep doing y'all thing.
All right, no doubt, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
For sure.
All right.
He made some really good points.
Definitely.
He did. He did.
Real Warriors fan, you can tell.
I mean, the hate for LeBron, the hate for KD though, really didn't start until he stopped LeBron from getting to 6 rings.
I gotta watch the highlights. KD was poetry in motion when he was busting.
Man,
Brian.
listen, it was.
I gotta watch the highlights tonight.
It was a movie, but we got 10
listen,
minutes left, so we're gonna close the phone lines up, get to this last topic, try and make it under 2 hours. We're gonna go. We're gonna go ahead and switch it over. So WNBA All-Star weekend is coming up, fastly approaching. WNBA All-Star rosters were released. To no surprise, there were some automatics in there. Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, just to name a few, made it. Their setup is Team WNBA versus Team USA. But a lot of people are, talking about, the difference between this year votes and last year votes and, the Caitlin Clark effect and things to that nature and stuff like that. But when Caitlin Clark was asked about, how she felt about it and everything, she kind of kept it played. She kept a real professional answer. And I'm play that clip for you guys real quick.
I don't think I've ever been her teammate before with even a USA basketball or anything like that. So I know people are going to be really excited about it, but I hope it doesn't take away from everybody else. Like, this is a huge accomplishment for everybody on Team USA and everybody on Team WNBA. Like, they all deserve the same praise. Like, I don't want it to take away from any of that and just be the focal point of All-Star Weekend, because that's not fair to them. And, obviously this is something that's really hard to accomplish. So the best we can celebrate all of them will be great. And just going to obviously soak in the experience, because you never know if you're ever going to be able to get back there, and it'll be fun for all of us.
So a lot of people talking about the fact that her and Angel will be teaming up for the first time in their respective career. I guess they're trying to play onto the rivalry or whatever, trying to make them go against each other, hog the spotlight or whatever. And she answered pretty diplomatically. How do you guys feel about that?
Good answer.
The Indiana Fever PR team has finally taught her how to answer questions without actually saying anything.
Yeah. Good answer. It was definitely media training. Definitely media trained. The right answer.
Sound like the politicians, a political answer.
Definitely.
I mean, it's a good political answer.
And it's the perfect teammate answer. Like, I don't want to take away from everybody. Everybody, this is a huge accomplishment for everybody to be here. I want to enjoy the moment because it's not guaranteed that you're going to be here ever again. And it takes away that we all know that if the fan didn't vote her in, she wouldn't have been an All-Star.
Who?
Here we are.
You talking about, Jay?
Who we talking about? You know what he talking about.
I need him to say it.
Her. The fine folks at Not Clutch had told me not to.
So
what does the text look like from Clutch? What do you think?
I know, Not Clutch. I don't get text from Clutch.
Hey, what he said? Held real close.
Yeah. Hold on tight.
The other person in that question that she was referencing was Angel Reese. So here's what Angel Reese had to say when she found out that she was selected to the All-Star team.
Well, we won today. But they just told me I'm an All-Star. And I mean, I'm just so happy. I know the work I put in. Coming into this league, so many people doubted me and didn't think my game would translate and I wouldn't be the player that I was in college or better or would be worse and wouldn't be where I am right now. But I trusted the process and I believed, and I'm thankful that I dropped to 7 and was able to come to Chicago. And it's just a blessing. I can't thank my teammates and my coaches enough for just believing in me and trusting me. And I know all of them are going to come to Phoenix and support me. So I'm really happy right now.
Mel, what you think about her response?
I mean,
I want to go back to I want to go back to her crying after the loss in the NCAAs. Dude, she cries when she get emotional. Yeah. There's enough information out there now that says that's just who she is.
Yeah.
Is she allowed to be emotional? I mean, what's wrong with that? These are milestones that she's achieving now, right?
No. So people were saying that she wouldn't have cried if she had won. Well, here it is. Her winning exactly. So I'm just saying, if you wait long enough, a lot of times your questions will be answered.
Yeah, they was trying to say she was crying for sympathy because she lost and
we lost the game.
And all this stuff, and saying she wasn't allowed to cry because she was the villain and all that, just stupid stuff, man. Emmanuel Acho.
Hey, man, it's always gonna be hard on the sisters, man. You know what I mean? At that level, it's always hard on the sisters, bro. I mean, it just is. It's the way the world works. I mean, I hate to see it, but I think they put her under so much scrutiny. Every little thing she did. I mean, I feel like she's been through it, and for her to still her skill set still outshines whatever the critics is gonna say. The girl averages 13 points. I think she's getting 11 rebounds, something like that. I mean, come on, bro. She a double almost every game. So, I mean, she just let her talent, show through it for itself. So, and that's how you silence the critics.
And what them 13 points come from? This prolific score that was averaging almost 30 in Caitlin Clark is only averaging about 15 or 16, just 3 more points more than Angel Reese. Mm-hmm. And she's not supposed to be the scorer. She's supposed to be a rebounder and a defender. She's coming in giving you 13 as a rookie, on top of her rebounds, on top of her defense.
Right.
You can't beat that, man. The girl playing some ball. Her popularity is through the roof. Not as high as Caitlin Clark's. But maybe it is because her following is more, but it doesn't translate into ticket sales as much. And
I think her following is bigger than basketball. I think people are following her now as a pop culture icon or something to speak that happens to play basketball. Where Caitlin Clark fans kind of are basketball.
Or you can just chalk it up to Caitlin Clark fans buy tickets and Angel Reese fans don't buy tickets. Just like some people don't vote and some people do vote. Just because they're not buying the tickets don't mean you don't have the following.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, you know what it equate to? It's like the first time we seen Eminem. We was like, wow.
you know what?
When we seen Eminem,
there will be no Eminem slander.
It's true though. It is kind of like music. I mean, who actually was buying rap albums for the longest? It wasn't us. It wasn't us buying the albums.
Eminem.
Well, I know if one person bought a rap album, then everybody in that crew had that same album.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we passed dubbing tapes back back.
Yeah.
So one thing I do want to touch on about this is the popularity, like Mel had alluded to earlier. Caitlin Clark was the top vote getter for All-Stars, beating out Asia Wilson, I think by right around or just under 100,000 more votes, but is not having the better season. So like we're seeing what the Caitlin Clark effect is really doing. And although the game is not translating to, that the success that the hype was leading up to, we see that the fans, and she is bringing in a new influx of fans, because we've seen the increase from the votes last year. It was like a 500% increase in votes.
Total number,
but it's just the hype train is when does it get to be too much? For
I mean, it can't be too much if it's go generate money. I mean, let the hype train be the hype train, but that don't mean we can't talk about what we understand. Like if I take a poll now, by a show of hands, who on this panel voted for the WNBA All-Star? I did, but who else voted?
I didn't even know voting was open. I'm gonna keep it a buck and a half with you.
Right. So you get what I'm saying? So, but are you a fan of Angel Reese?
Yeah.
Who else is a fan of Angel Reese on here? Angel Reese fans are not voting.
You got a valid point. That's a very valid point. You're right. We don't, and we ain't buying tickets to the game.
And we're not buying tickets to the game.
We ain't buying tickets to no game, dog. We're gonna sit right there in the front room and watch the game like everybody else. We're not gonna buy no ticket, run through traffic and do all that. Hey.
I tried to buy tickets to the Aces. I couldn't get them. When I lived in New York, I went to see the Liberty play often. But again, like I watch the sport. But I think something that's really important about this is that like All-Star game, when you take a look at Asia Wilson and the amount of votes that she got, she led in voting last season. Caitlin Clark is leading in votes this season. She's basically like LeBron. I mean, LeBron gets majority of the votes for All-Star every year. Is he always the best player that year? And I get it. They're different because LeBron has been the best player in the league before, where Caitlin Clark has never won anything. She's never actually been the best player to me in college or WNBA, but I know people will debate me about college. But she's got a lot of hype. They're calling it Clarkonomics, the Caitlin Clark effect, so she's having an effect on the league where middle Americans are watching now. And I think the people who are buying tickets, to Mel's point, are watching and they're supporting. And I mean, that gave Asia Wilson more votes. She got 600,000 votes, whereas last year she got under 100,000 votes. So Caitlin Clark is bringing more visibility. I think that women who, love basketball are grateful for this, but she's not the best player in the league. So I think that the game is going to be exciting because she's in it, because Angel Reese is in it. But I'm really excited to see, like, are they going to let Caitlin Clark go off in that game because she got the most votes? Are they going to let her cook on the court, or like, are they going to come out and show out, as the best girls in the league?
Yeah, y'all think it's noteworthy the fact that the Indiana Fever got 3 All-Stars: Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Milcher, and Caitlin Clark?
I think it would be more noteworthy. I think it would be more noteworthy if there was more than 12 teams.
I mean,
there's no other team with 3 All-Stars though.
When you take a look at the Olympics, you have 4 women from the Aces on that team. And now you have
they would have definitely been all, you know what I'm saying?
They're more popular. It is noteworthy because, to your point, these ladies are not the best in the league, but yet there's 3 of them on the All-Star team. The Olympics team is built where you're seeing the best women in the league on that team. That's why you see 4 women from the Aces on that team. Yeah. That's about talent and meritocracy, right? And then the All-Star it's about popularity. And I think
so. How they get 3?
Because of Clark. It's the Clark effect. They want to see her teammates. And I think the coaches voted for Kelsey Mitchell to be in.
And once you take away however many people went to Team USA, your pot is pretty limited at that point.
Yeah, I think Kennedy Carter should have made it as well. I think she got snubbed. But Kelsey Milcher playing good ball too, man. So but 3 from one team that's not even a playoff team, I think that's kind of OD.
It definitely is. I agree, but it's just based on Caitlin Clark and her popularity. Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Brittany?
I agree. I think we knew. I'm not surprised that Caitlin Clark got into the All-Star along with 2 other of her teammates. I mean, she brought a whole new crazy behind fandom to the game. Even fans that are not fans of basketball, they're just fans of Caitlin Clark. Like we know where she's from. So they all gathered around with their pitch and their forks and said, we better get this girl in. Because if she didn't make it, let's just imagine what would happen. They will raise all holy hell. They will raise all holy hell.
They'd be ready to attack the All-Stars that did make it.
Exactly. Could have been the Capitol building all over again.
Exactly. So and rightly so, I think her and Angel should have made it. I do think they should have made it. But like you guys alluded to, 3 from a team that's losing right now. No, but it's crazy.
Almost made it though, just because of her association with Clark. Kate Martin, she got a bunch of votes, and she did an interview saying she was embarrassed.
I'm glad you said that because I got that soundbite. This is what she had to say about getting 12 in votes.
Oh my gosh. I'm embarrassed. No, it's cool. I feel really grateful for the fan support that I have. And they don't have to do that. They don't have to go and vote for me. That takes extra time out of people's days. So I really appreciate it. But there are a lot of deserving people to get those votes, and there are a lot more deserving people who should go to the All-Star game. And I haven't earned anything while I've been here. So I really appreciate all my fans out there, and I love them. So I feel really grateful. It's really cool. It's an honor. But there are way more deserving people to go to the All-Star game that deserve those votes over me, for sure.
Yeah, she right.
Yeah.
Humility, that's going to take her straight to the ESPYs. It sounded like me.
It's going to be a winner.
So with her being 12, does that give her the last? How many people they put on that team?
I think 12, but it was kind of unique how they did it. But she got 12 in overall votes or 12 in the fan vote.
I think it was 12 in the fan vote.
Yeah, because remember it's only 50% fan vote, 25% your peers, and 25% the sports writers. I mean, your peers and the coaches get 25%, and then 25% sports writers. So she probably didn't get no votes from her coaches and the peers. Probably didn't get no votes from the writers, but the fan vote probably that's probably what she was 12 in.
God damn, Mel, the coaches don't even fuck with her.
No, I'm talking about Kate Martin. Why would a coach vote for Kate Martin?
Yeah, the water boy didn't even vote for
her. Well, just, how many votes do they get? They only get 1 vote?
Who?
The coaches.
They can only vote for I don't know how. I mean, they voting for the top 12 players on the roster.
Yeah, I figured that's how that will go.
Yeah, pretty much. Janet didn't even vote for her.
Thanks.
Taco said, let's find out what DC Slim thinks.
Nobody watches women's basketball.
No disrespect to the ladies on the panel.
Nobody cares about women's basketball.
Let's not go back to that.
Let's see if he answers the phone. Call him up, Chris.
I don't got a number. So you gonna call him?
DC Slim gonna cuss Mel out as soon as he get on the line.
I am not about to do that.
Mel is already bracing himself.
Oh man.
I just don't know why people keep bringing that name up, man. Seriously.
No promotion, Mel. He don't get no promotion.
Oh, no more. All right.
Dang, man, I ain't seen you act like that, man. Where's the Christian Mel?
It's just not even funny to me, man, for real.
But all right. Well, on that note, man, that's the show. Appreciate y'all for watching, tuning in. Brittany, real quick, go ahead. Do your plug.
Oh, yes. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I do the Sideline Speaks. We also talk about sports. Olympics coming out. We'll be talking a lot about the Olympics. football is coming up, so we're talking about that as well, along with the NBA.
Facts. Jay?
Some of them videos absolutely hit this week, Brittany.
We're growing. We're growing.
Numbers? Are doing numbers over there?
Yeah, I gotta go check it out, man.
For sure. Jay?
You can find me here each and every Friday. And if you want more of me, because why wouldn't you? You can find me on Wednesdays right here too. Also on Therapeutic Rap 189 on YouTube. That's Therapeutic Rap 189. Chris will be there. We have some ladies there. Not these ladies, but they are ladies. Thank you for thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
What in the world?
They are ladies. Confirmed ladies.
Yeah. You don't have to do no
certified.
not pronouns. We ain't talking about just the pronouns.
Yeah. Oh man.
Man,
Hey, Therapeutic Rap, man. Wednesday. We wasn't there last Wednesday, man. We was trapped in Mexico. But we back.
Nothing like that in Mexico, baby.
Anybody else got anything else to say?
Thank you, Kill Deuce. Thank you.
Hey, shout out to Tulum and the Wheels Up, Heels Up travel group that we went to with Tulum. It's an outstanding time, man. I love to share details, but I'll wait till I see you guys in person.
Did you say Wheels Up, Heels Up?
That's the name of the travel group, man.
The wheels up, the heels got to come up, baby. I feel you. But, hey, ain't nothing like going on no vacation and not getting no bait. You know what I mean? So, hey, put them heels up in the air. I touch the ceiling fan with them hoes.
Yeah, flew out.
Hey, Kill Deuce. Hey, while you're in the subscribing mood, get on over there to Therapeutic Rap, bro.
Yeah.
But wheels up, heels up.
And shout out to Mexico for letting my brothers come back stateside. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, it was an epic time, man. Golly, man. Hey, that was the best vacation I ever had in my life. And
the worst one I ever had.
Oh, you got stuck?
Nah, we got out of there before the hurricane came, but I have kidney failure, for those that don't know, but I just had real bad leg cramps, dehydration, and Gatorade was $7 a bottle. So,
oh shit,
jeez,
man, my goddamn blood pressure went up when you said $7 a bottle.
Hey, I don't know if the producer did it, but usually the links is in the description. It'll be there by tomorrow morning.
Hey, real quick before we go, somebody wanted to call in. I guess they had something very pressing to talk about. Caller from California, what's up?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
We're good.
All right, quick. I just wanted to touch on something that was brought up earlier when y'all was talking about like championships and like talking about Kawhi's and then y'all started touching on the LeBron one, saying if KD hadn't went to the Warriors, he would have continuously beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not forget. I disagree with that because they barely won to begin with, and it took a major shot by Kyrie. But let's not forget how they got in that position too. We're not gonna forget about the Draymond suspension. We're not gonna forget about Andrew Bogut going down in that same game he was suspended in. So I don't think if they had to play them again the next year, not saying it's impossible, but the Warriors still would have been favored to win the title.
This is my thoughts on that. I would say, yeah, they probably still. I mean, we're talking about the first one they won without Kevin Love and Kyrie. I mean, we don't know if Kevin Love and Kyrie, if they played, if the Cavs win, but maybe they do. So let's just say for the sake of this conversation, the Warriors win that one. Coming back the next year, and what I witnessed and observed, and what Draymond Green confirmed that they was thinking in their head as well. They were when they came back from that 3-1 deficit, they were able to play a very physical brand of basketball against Steph Curry that the refs allowed that they didn't allow the year before, and that's how they made that 3-1 comeback. Now, what Draymond and the Warriors explained that they feared that if they had found the formula to guard in Steph Curry and we don't have a plan B, we don't think we can beat them again. And that's why Kevin Durant was necessary. So the Warriors' own team and locker room didn't believe they could beat the Cavs again. And that was admitted by Draymond Green. So I believe what Draymond Green was saying as well.
Yeah, but so I mean, listen, and I get it because Draymond, in my opinion, he gives overpraise to LeBron James. I get it. If that's how they felt, that's how they felt. But look at it like this, because I felt like this even before anybody said anything about it. Okay, so they had a 2-1 series lead without those guys. LeBron took a 2-1 series lead, right? Mm-hmm. But then he has those dudes the next year, and they down 3-1. It took something dramatic to happen for them to come back from that 3-1. And I honestly believe if Draymond played that game 5, that's curtains.
Yeah, but you got a lot of things you got to take into consideration, right? Number one, the Warriors were down 3-1 against OKC, so there was something that had to happen for them to even beat them. So Kevin Durant has two choices: do I stay with OKC and add another piece? Do the Warriors beat me after they lose Harrison Barnes and a couple of other pieces that was important? Do they beat OKC the next year? Or does Kevin Durant say, I'm still leaving OKC, but I'm not going to the Warriors. I'm going to play with the guy that I already played with in Houston and James Harden. And then he ended up with CP3 over there. And then the Warriors got to deal with that monster. So the whole thing is not just the Cavs. Can the Warriors get out of the West again? Can the Warriors get past Kevin Durant again?
That's true. There's truth to that too, because if you look at that Toronto series, they even in the Toronto series, even though KG was injured, they were allowed to be physical with Steph in that series.
Of course, and he couldn't handle that until. Well, you can kind of say he handled it against Boston, but Boston wasn't allowed to be that physical with him like they were against Kevin Durant and Kyrie in the first round of that year, right? So you gotta watch those things. And take how they officiate the game into consideration, and then make your judgment of that.
And then one more thing, I was gonna say that I do agree with Miss Lady when it comes to that with Miami. Like it was for sure D Wade. D Wade was like the real leader of that team for sure. Like I felt that way when they were going on too. Like without him. In that locker room saying, hey man, we going as you go, man. You gotta step in front and do this. That's leadership. Because he could have just been like, well, I was a man and I had a championship before you, so we're gonna do it my way. He could have easily did that.
Well, let me ask you this.
He chose not
to. Real quick. Let me ask you this. When he's having a conversation with Gabs, who you think leading that?
Oh man!
When you have a conversation with who? Oh, with Gab. I just got that. You talking about Gabrielle?
I'm just asking. I don't know.
I think she leads. But he was a different person back then, though. He was a different person, man, back then.
Yeah,
he was a different beat. I get you.
He had a baby on her. He had a baby on her, Jay. Yeah. Leader in that too. She came back, so I think that he's leading in that area too.
Well, her turn.
Quick question.
But for the baby, you guys, she had to get. He pegged it. She pegged it.
Okay. Hey, where do you guys?
I don't know about.
Where do you guys? Where do you guys put like Kobe in this top 5 conversation? Just out of curiosity.
Number 3. Number 3.
Number 2.
Number 3.
Yeah, that's about where I have them. I don't know, like some of these lists I be seeing people make, I be like, yo, did y'all really watch basketball or y'all just listen to the media? Because, it's usually like LeBron in there. Then they be having Tim Duncan over Kobe. I be like, dude, what is going on? Did I watch that same league? Like, I don't remember that. It's like revisionist history almost.
It is.
You can make a case for it, man.
Jordan, which I argue about this all the time, is Jordan, LeBron, and then it's Kobe. And then you can argue.
The same counter argument. Why is LeBron?
The same counter argument.
Just out of curiosity.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say why. I mean, why? I don't understand how LeBron gets in this conversation as top 2. I don't understand that. Top 10, I can understand, but top 2, I don't understand.
I don't get it either.
LeBron is arguably regarded by most people as the number 2 that has ever played the game.
I wouldn't say most NBA players say otherwise. Though, why is that?
I wouldn't say most. I would say a select few of y'all.
Let's do a poll.
The fandom says that.
Y'all stay trying to do a poll.
Not true basketball.
It's basic logic to me, right? So if Kobe is the closest thing we've ever seen to Jordan. How is he not number 2? How is he not number 2? I don't get it.
It's always been as simple as like that for me. It's as simple as that for me.
And in my opinion, LeBron he's not better than Magic to me. He's not better than Kareem. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, and then if we talking from a skill standpoint, anybody that I can name like more people than that more than top 5 that are more skilled than that man.
Hey, hold on.
Be honest with you.
Hold on, caller. Hey, Melvin. The disrespect got to stop, bro.
Well, disrespect it, man.
Got the Admiral on the pier.
on pier 7 now. You done moved him down.
That's the same pyramid. I did not move the Admiral down.
Admiral was on sticks, yo.
That's the same pyramid.
Admiral was cold. He had some cold ass muscles too, didn't he? Hey, but look, this is my logic, man. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I have LeBron in my top 10, but it's based on longevity. The only reason why I can't put him in my top 5 is because skill-wise, to me, he's a little limited, number 1. Number 2, the way he went about his success. So if we take everybody whoever you have, you can pick any player that's in your top 10. If they decided to go that route to pick their own players and dictate like that, how many rings would Jordan have? How many would Kareem have?
17.
How many would Magic have? That's what I'm saying. So it's like if Karl Malone did that, how many rings would he have? That's what I'm saying.
And let me ask you. Hold on. Let me ask you a question, caller. Hey, I didn't catch your name. What was your name, brother?
Oh, my name's Robert, man.
All right, Robert. Let me ask you a question. We've seen Jordan be a GM with the Wizards, and we've seen him be an owner with the Hornets. You think this motherfucker?
I like this guy. He's funny. He's funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You think Mike can pick a team? We've seen that. We've seen him pick teams.
Wait. You talking about him picking teams out of undrafted players that haven't played in the NBA? We're talking about LeBron looking and saying a guy played for 4 years and become an all-star superstar and be like, oh, I can play with him. I think anybody can watch somebody play for 3 years and decide to join them and say, I'm gonna create a super team with them, man. If Jordan did that and looked over and was like, oh, Hakeem, let me go join the King. Oh, shoot.
In his own draft. He got with the top niggas in his own draft.
LeBron decided, I'm gonna go to somebody who already won. Let me go and join a proven winner. Cool.
This dude, Michael Jordan, was a player, a coach, and an owner. All of the Wizards, and he still couldn't make it.
Doug Collins was the coach.
That was his. He brought Doug Collins in and Chris Collins and
he got Oakley. He got Oakley over there too. He got Oakley.
He did all that.
But I'm saying, but look. What people don't understand, because people bring up the Wizard years, but what you got to understand is this: they brought him back as a business move. They promised him a share of the team if he were to come back and help them with sales. And I don't think it was a winning type of thing, but we just remember this: that Wizard team the year before was ranked like 28th or 29th in defense, and just Jordan coming in, they became like a top 5 or top 7 defense in the league. And with them trash players and him.
We're gonna like Rip Hamilton ain't had nothing to do with that. Got it.
Okay, I respect that. I respect you feel like Rip has something to do with that. That's cool. I love Rip. I feel like he shouldn't have traded Rip. That was dumb.
Rip ain't had nothing to do with that defense, but this thing that's on screen now, this is I've never heard it put like this, man. But I'm still in this one. I love it.
But look, check this out. If Jordan was on a LeBron tip, I know the dude that makes this show know about this. He came back in 01-02, right? He had a chance to go to the 2-time defending champion Lakers, and he turned it down.
Mm-hmm.
And decided to go with the Wizards.
And why did he turn it down? Because he said he didn't want to stunt Kobe's growth.
He didn't want to stunt his growth. He could have easily did the LeBron thing and tried to front run that.
Yep.
Nah, he couldn't
have. Easily did that
because nobody ever seen it work till LeBron did it, man.
Imagine him 3-peating 3 times, because he definitely would have 3-peated with that Lakers squad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I tell people all the time too. You put George take Pippen off that Portland team that had the 15-point lead on the 2000 Lakers and replace him with Jordan. They finished that.
Sheesh.
They finished that.
You put me on that team, we finish it.
Hey, if and Anns was pots and pans, the world would be a kitchen. Listen, man.
If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all taking my call, man. I'm gonna call in more. I like the show, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right,
man.
That's a good call. And he knew, and he knew how to get off.
Yeah, on his own.
No did he?
Oh,
on his
No
own.
did he? No did he? Not on his own. No did he? No did he? But he said if LeBron is a king, why does he need to travel to different kingdoms to rule? It's a very good
because
call.
he is, because he don't own none of them teams, man. He ain't gonna make one white person rich off of bringing everybody to that team, man. He gonna make several white people rich. Shit.
Okay, but Eric is the LeBron fan in the room, so I want to hear from you, Eric. I want to hear why. Like, I want to hear your response to that. Like, what do you think?
Hey, man.
Hey, don't dignify that. Don't dignify that, Eric.
Hold on, man. If I'm the king, ain't the ruler of all I survey? Every place I go, I rule it.
Every place is the kingdom.
What you talking about, man? I'm the king. If I come to your house, I run it. If I come to their house, I run it. It don't matter.
It's a very good comeback. What can we say to that?
You know what I'm saying?
The king of all kings.
You ain't running nan shit over here.
Hey, listen, man. Listen.
You got me, Eric.
You just happy to be in my presence.
Hold on, Eric.
You know what I'm saying? Just sit down and play your position and watch me work.
Did they kiss the ring when he showed up at LA?
Eric, you got a mic. You don't have to yell.
You don't have to yell. That's throwback, right?
They didn't kiss the ring. That's why everybody had to get traded from the team.
Because they wouldn't kiss the ring. He just trading whoever won't kiss it.
He traded everybody.
Hey, man,
he traded Big Eye to obscurity.
Listen, as a brother though, I just like what he doing over there, man. That's beautiful.
I don't know, man. It's kind of disgusting to me, man.
Not on the basketball sense, but just as a brother, seeing another brother in power like that, I'm like, dang, that's dope.
In power? What power did you think LeBron got?
Jesus Christ!
It's the LeBron Lakers, man. That's his team, bro.
I hear you, but let's take a look at the last 6 years, though. First
Six,
round,
okay.
2 first round knockouts, missed the playoffs.
Okay,
let me
But 50% of the time was really poor. Like,
but I mean,
the Western Conference Finals and 1 championship, and the other seasons were like play-in, missed the playoffs, first round knockouts,
in season tournament, champion.
Boom.
Listen, y'all have to stop it.
They're gonna hang that banner next year.
This is they already hung.
They're so proud of
that. Is not a banner. I want in my
you know what, Dominique? I know why we get into it so much, because secretly you just like me. You're a Lakers fan.
Wait, Dominique, are you wearing a Lakers shirt?
I wore this today because I felt like they lost in the free agency.
No, man,
That's
listen.
why I wore this shirt. I thought we were going to talk about that, but it didn't really come up. So
hey, listen.
Wear the enemy shirt.
Wait.
Listen, you don't have to explain anything to Chris, okay?
Hey, hold on. Let me ask you one question.
Very bad. You have a LeBron poster and a Lakers shirt.
Hold on, Eric. Let me ask you a question. How many Denver Broncos jerseys do you own?
0.
Oh, all right. Just checking. Hey, Chris.
0.
What's up?
How many Bears jerseys you got?
I wouldn't even use that to wipe my ass with.
Sheesh.
And the jersey is praising God as well.
Don't look my way.
How many?
You got a Cowboy jersey.
Don't disrespect me, Jay. Don't you
jersey's
disrespect me.
Thank God.
Don't disrespect me, Jay. We gonna have a problem.
Hey, Zo, how many?
I ain't got no Cowgirls jersey.
So how many Saints shirts?
Philadelphia's coming.
I got a better one for y'all. How many Nikes do y'all own?
How many Nikes?
Yeah,
it's way too many.
I got about 1 pair of Nikes.
Right.
Ask me how many Mikes and how many LeBrons I own.
No. Nike own those 2. So how many Nikes do you own? A lot, and that's just like wearing a jersey from the opposing team.
No.
I'll let that marinate on you.
No. I wear Jordans. I don't wear LeBrons.
Nike owns Jordan too.
That's cool and dandy, but they subsections, and I chose a side. I chose Jordan. I don't wear no LeBron.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't
have Nikes.
I don't got no LeBron.
I have quite LeBron.
No Nikes.
What?
I have a couple pairs of LeBrons. LeBron 9s were fire.
The 9s were fire.
Ooh, now we really getting into it. Come on.
I'm gonna tell you why. LeBrons are really like, I think it was after the 9s, they became really good shoes to play basketball in. They're lightweight. They're much better to play in than Jordans. I don't know how. That's why Jordan's the GOAT. Like, how the hell did he play in those sneakers? I can't imagine playing in those 9s or the 6s. They are so uncomfortable and narrow. How the hell was he doing that? The 1s are so flat. I feel like my feet are gonna break by the end of the day.
He wasn't playing the one who was buying in the store. That was designing his specifically for his feet.
Yeah, of course.
They designed it differently.
This is the greatest basketball shoe right here ever.
Those would break my ankle. I don't believe
I was gonna say you have ankle injuries every time you play.
That's why LeBrons are one of the best.
What are those? The New Balance Elite?
Because you always have support.
They don't sleep on New Balance though. They got some heat for real.
No,
New Balance got some fire.
They really do.
These the KD 15s, man.
Hey man.
Never in the day will I own a KD.
Dominique is really coming out this show, and I'm just so happy to see it. I can't believe it. I guess all the talks we had is just working, just pulling out. I don't know.
I still don't think, just because LeBron has sneakers that I would wear to play basketball in, literally, that look like, you should see what they look like. I mean, I ran them into the ground. I would never run my Jordans into the ground or my Kobe's. I have one pair of Kobe's that I wear the Kobe 10s, the All-Star ones. Those are my favorites to play in. But yeah.
Hey, at least you keeping it true to LeBron when you say you ran them shoes into the ground like he ran those teams into the ground.
Yeah, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but she got on a Lakers shirt. She's got a LeBron poster in the back of the
bad.
Just to be clear, LeBron is not a Laker. Okay, I just want to say that for everybody that's listening. Still, LeBron is not a Laker.
I don't know. I don't know if you looked at the current team
because it's iconic. Because of Magic Johnson, because of Kareem, because of the guys that really made the Lakers, because of Jerry West. I'm wearing it because of Jeannie Buss before I'm wearing it for LeBron James.
It's okay. Let it go. That's all right.
Not the soft talk.
The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay.
Eric, you still can't tell us why LeBron is GOAT. I'm still reading.
I already know. Hey.
Four-time champion.
There's a white number inside of a red box.
There's a white number inside of a red box.
Yeah.
A white number?
Yeah. It's ever changing.
Numbers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I tried to listen. That's the show.
He told you. You told him, no, Jay.
All right, man. I'm out.
That's right. We're going to catch y'all next week, man. Friday, same time, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 on the East Coast. Y'all figure out the math in between because I ain't doing that.
Pacific.
Yeah, Pacific. Pacific this side.
I think Mountain Time is an hour behind us, or
I don't listen.
Is it a post game or not?
We doing post game?
I don't know. I was asking.
I'm down. I ain't got shit to do.
Like I said, I'm not. This monkey is not getting plucked by me.
I'm glad you said.
That's not what you said earlier.
I comes up.
I appreciate
you. Hey, join us on the post game. We'll be there in 8 minutes.
We do pace game.
All right. So, and give us 10 minutes. Bathroom break. Get your drink. Get your snacks. It's going down in the post game. Patreon. If you're not there, get there. Meet us there. Don't beat us there. Right? Or beat us there. Don't meet us there.
We're allowed to eat.
Yeah, I was snacking on a burger last time. Listen, never mind.
Jay ate a whole
burger, wings.
Yeah,
I ate a what?
A whole can of Pringles over there.
Yeah, a whole what? I didn't hear you. What?
A whole can of Pringles.
And first of all, there was original Lay's, and they wasn't a can. It was a plate.
Oh Lord. Anyway, hey, we'll see y'all on the Patreon.
Whoa.
Peace.
Bye, guys.